Thank you for tuning into another T13 Media production. And if you're wondering how else you can support all of us and show your T13 spirit, we have merch. So you can get your very own Primetime Travie t-shirt, Bad Guy Has Spoken hoodie, Hi-Fi Mike mug, Book It bandana, or even a That's a Banger pillowcase. And you can find all of that at www.t13media.com. You are now listening to another T13 Media production. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the fastest rising combat sports show without a corporate backing. Who made it out of the big Loma versus Lopez fight victorious? Who will be crowned the 155-pound UFC champion Saturday? And what is being rumored for WrestleMania 37 in April? I am your host, Primetime Travie T, and my tag team partner, the bad guy, Kenny Davis, is back and better than ever. And we are ready to discuss all of this and more. The bad guy, Kenny Davis, back in your life on this Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? How was your vacation?
It was good. It was good.
Damone did a good job filling in, but the show was missing a little villain to it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got talking about shit.
Yeah. But the show missed the part of the show that was missing the most was our back and forth on boxing, and let's just jump right into it. Let's waste no time. Lomachenko versus Lopez.
Yep.
Biggest upset in 2020.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people was trying to say that Lomachenko was going to win that, and I was one of those people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he was going to win it. Like I don't know. I didn't say I think he's going to destroy the man, but I thought he was going to win it. I thought he was going to pull it out. But you never know with boxing, man.
That's right. So something we've discussed on the show before is about when you take your loss, your first loss in a long time, whatever it is, your mystique, your legacy starts to dwindle. Do you think Lomachenko's claim to greatness is a little fractured at this point because of this loss?
I think the era now is different. Like there's a time where you could take an L and it meant nothing. Yeah. Now it's like you aren't that guy unless you're undefeated now. For some reason, I don't understand where this narrative came from, but like I would say, like around it, I wanted to. It's probably Floyd. I think Floyd probably started that there because I don't remember like before that, like where it's pretty much like, hey, you have to win all your matches in order to be that guy. There was a time where you could take 3 or 4 L's and still be considered the GOAT, like Muhammad Ali, but now it's like, nope. You took that L, man. Your career's done. It did to Adrian Broner, and that fractured his spirit. But I think the good thing about Lomachenko is he isn't a show off. He isn't somebody that talk that shit. He's not somebody like that. So it's not going to really affect him. He's going to be like, we're going to be cheering for him to come back and be stronger. Whereas you had your Adrian Broners that took the L and he's ready to shoot people and all this different stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So Teofimo Lopez said about the fight. He said he expected more from Lomachenko, but said he was pretty basic, honestly. That's a crazy quote.
Yeah, but
about someone that we both had in our top 5.
Yeah.
Current greats.
I mean, everybody takes that L, man. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people take that L. My GOAT doesn't take L's, but yeah.
He keeps fighting. He will. One day he'll get there.
I don't think so, man. I don't think he will.
You never know it's the day till the day comes. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely feel you, but certain people just don't take that L. And he's one of them.
I think John Jones is going to take an L too, but we'll get to that eventually. He's got some tough competition.
No, I feel you on that though. I feel like I definitely feel you on that.
So Bob Arum rips the controversial Lopez Jr. versus Lomachenko scorecard. So the judge, Julie Letterman, scored the fight 119 to 109, which is 11 rounds to 1 for Lopez. The consensus seems to be that 7-5 or 8-4 with Lopez winning is where it should be, and that Lomachenko clearly won rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11 in the very least.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds about right.
That's I don't know. He said that if he was a boxer, he would be asking any boxing council that he speaks to not appoint Julie Letterman to judge their fight, because obviously she doesn't know what she's doing. That's wild. That's Dana White talking about judging levels. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you don't get that as much in boxing. You don't get the promoters coming out and talking shit about the refs or the judges.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, that's the judge that always fucks up. That's the one I'm thinking of. That's the one that had Floyd. No, for real, but I think that's the one that had Floyd winning. I forget what match it was, by split decision. And he even looked like, what? Like, is she always? If it's the one I'm thinking of, I can't remember her name off top.
Yeah,
if it's the one I'm thinking of. I think that's the one that always messes up in big matches.
That's the thing. He said that she should not be scoring. At the very least, she should not be judging championship fights.
Yeah. If it's that one I'm thinking of, yeah, get rid of her.
So Timothy Bradley says that Teofimo Lopez reminds him of a young Roy Jones Jr. How do you feel about those comparisons?
I don't know. Like, but did he like explain more in what way, or did he just say it reminds me of Roy Jones? Like, that was it.
That was the headline. I didn't read the whole article. I just read the headline and skimmed.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, because I gotta see where he's coming from with that. I personally don't think so, but maybe it's something I'm missing.
But I'm looking it up.
Roy Jones was cold. He just couldn't get past Thomas Harbor.
That's me skimming through the article.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even see this.
What?
He kind of reminds me, with his speed, his timing, his reflexes, and quick decisions on the fly, of a young Roy Jones Jr., one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
No, in the precision aspect, I don't think he's as fast as him, personally.
Okay.
Yeah. And Roy Jones was a lot more flashy. That's what I personally think too. Because Roy Jones used to hit these little dance moves and stuff and do all kind of different stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really remember Lopez doing that, or at least in the few matches I've seen.
Yeah.
In preparation for this match.
I'm with you. So Floyd Mayweather won some big money on this boxing match. He bet $6,500 on Lopez and ended up walking away with over $20,000.
That's crazy, man. He's already rich, and this is wild. Like,
right?
That he just, because he still does that for some reason. He's always betting on something. He just got bread like that for no reason. it just pisses me off.
I would too. I would too. Let's be real. So boxing legend Manny Pacquiao has fans excited with his latest post saying, "I'm in the mood to fight."
Yeah.
He hasn't been seen in a fight, I think, in over a year.
Yeah, Pacquiao's a warrior, man. That's the only way to describe him. He's definitely a warrior. He's always down to fight. He's like that movie. He's like that movie good guy we see that's like, nah, I'll fight. It doesn't matter. I don't need the money. I just want to go in there and just represent. Like, he's that
Rocky.
That's exactly what he is. The Filipino Rocky.
Also, I just pulled up his what is this? His Wikipedia page. Apparently, he has a basketball career.
Does he? He's a terrible basketball player.
It just says basketball stats. I'm not looking too far into that because I'm looking for his record to see when the last time he fucking fought was. But he's got so much going on that he has separate Wikipedia pages for everything.
Yeah. He's definitely out there, man.
He last fought in July 20th, 2019. Yeah,
He won that, right?
Yeah, he's on a 3-fight win streak. He beat Lucas Matthys, Adrian Broner, and Keith Thurman.
Latisse.
Yeah. Okay.
I know those names are wild. Like,
I knew you would know though. He last lost to Jeff Horn in July 2nd, 2017. Jeff Horn sounds like an MMA fighter.
Jeff Horn's good too.
He has the most basic name ever. Jeffrey Christopher Horn Jr.
The old school boxing name. That's what they used to have the basic name.
We've got Errol Spence says he wants to fight Pacquiao in 2021.
Man, they need to do that. They do. And I want to see, because that's one of the ones I'll be like, woof. I don't know. I don't know. Just because, like I said, because the way Pacquiao fights, man, he does doing them slugfest.
Yep.
But Errol Spence is like, he's just hitting combos, man. He be throwing them. That's why I'll be ready for that one. I'll be a slugfest.
I'd be excited for it. In regards to that fight, Spence says, I want Pacquiao next, but he's earned the right to choose McGregor. He said he has no problem with Pacquiao choosing the money fight, the big mega fight, because Pacquiao, all of his career, has fought whoever they put in front of him. So he earned the right to pick and choose at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a warrior. He's just like, look, I'll fight whoever. That's why I mess with Pacquiao.
Yeah, I like Pacquiao. I didn't like Pacquiao for a small stretch of time when he was going back and forth with Mayweather. And everybody was saying, like, when it was the conversation of Pacquiao or Mayweather, who was legitimately better, who was, like, there was conversation of, like, Mayweather's not the greatest of all time because he's not even the greatest of his generation. Pacquiao is. And I'm like,
Yeah. That was, I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't always a Mayweather fan. That was a time where I was pulling for Pacquiao. I wanted Pacquiao to win back then.
Yeah.
When they first announced that thing, and I wasn't a fan of Mayweather back then. And then one day I just sat there and I was like, man, if I was winning like this, I'd be cocky too. That was the only reason I didn't like how cocky he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I was like, really? You? And I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, I would do some cocky shit like that if I was winning.
Oh, for sure. I'd talk all the shit. I would literally be Conor McGregor. I'd just talk all the shit.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, Floyd too. That was the one that was flicking off the entire crowd, and I think it was Ireland. Where was he from? I think it was Ireland.
For what?
For
a press conference or something?
Yeah, the guy he wanted to be. Why can't I think his name right now? I keep wanting to say Mickey Ward, but it's not Mickey Ward he fought.
I thought you said Mickey Rourke.
No,
the actor that was in The Wrestler. I was like, that's nasty.
No, it was. I keep wanting to say Mickey Ward, but it's not him. There's a guy he fought. He knocked him down twice. He hooked him. You said who?
I'll tell you. Hold on. Just keep going.
Yeah, he hooked him, and the guy, his head literally like.
Is he Irish?
The turnbuckle. Yeah, he's either Irish or Scottish, something like that.
It's not Maidana. That guy's definitely not. It's not Conor, right?
No. This was like back in the 2000s, like mid 2000s. Oh,
like early career?
Not early, because this is when he transitioned from Pretty Boy Floyd.
Okay.
This is like a little transitional period. This is around the Victor Ortiz, like a little bit before that.
We got Shane Mosley, Juan Manuel Marquez, Ricky Hatton. I would say it has to be him because he's British.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, he hooked him, and then the man's head hit the turnbuckle, and his shoulders clapped against the turnbuckle, whatever. And he got up, and then Floyd knocked him back down again. The referee called it. It was one, but it was just I'm just saying back then though, that was when Mayweather was just talking his shit, he's flicking off the crowd, bringing out chickens for Oscar De La Hoya. He's calling him a chicken. Literally brought out a chicken for him. Coming out with he's going off on Sugar Shane Mosley for wearing a green suit, calling him a bitch, talking about how you say you ran this division when I'm still here. So it was just it's disrespect when he had 50 Cent as like his like I was gonna say best man. I was gonna be real weird. I'm gonna say like his best
Hype
dude.
man.
Like, yeah, his hype man. 50 Cent was hyping him up too. That was
That wasn't
like
until later though, was it? Like he wasn't doing that in 2007.
Floyd and
No,
Floyd 50 Cent.
I'm saying 50 Cent. He wasn't.
Yeah, 50 Cent was with him.
They've been doing that for that long. They've been going back and forth for like what?
No. They were cool back then. They were cool.
No, I know, but then they're cool now. Like
they ain't cool.
They talk. They're friends one day and fucking foes the next. It's the biggest bullshit I've ever seen.
Nah, they don't like each other. They ain't like each other for a minute, bro. Like when 50 Cent, I don't know. I think Floyd Mayweather just be bring the evil out in people. They were like when they started beefing, yeah, they ain't been cool ever since then. Especially when they exposed him for not being able to read. It was all bad from then on.
Yeah, I guess they've been hanging out since 2002.
What
the fuck?
Yeah.
I guess I never realized until the back and forth started happening.
Yeah, because if you go back and watch like the old just if you can just go back and look at the Floyd Mayweather just talking shit videos, and you'll see he's always talking mess to his opponent, and you'll see 50 Cent in the background just laughing, hyping him up and stuff. And there's one time, even the Sugar Shane Mosley one, I think they were in. I want to say they were in Floyd's like live-in movie theater thing he has in his house, and you see 50 Cent just at the bottom, just cracking up, and Floyd's just tapping on the shoulder like, yeah, another thing. They just going in on Shane
Mosley. Shane Mosley fight was in 2010, so that's around the time I would have thought this happened.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying like that's when we saw like video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they were cool for a minute. That's what I'm saying. You said 2002, but yeah, they were cool for a minute.
Yeah, it said that 50 Cent said that they used to hang out daily for almost the entire time they were friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were always together. Like back then, you would always see them together.
That's wild.
I'm laughing straight to the bank.
My favorite Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent thing is when Floyd was gonna fight T.I. for Tiny. And 50 Cent told Floyd, he's like, look, you got them hands and you can dodge, but can you dodge bullets?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Because he said T.I. is not going to fight you. He's going to shoot you.
Yeah,
that was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
T.I. got his ass beat, man. They said I got
the bruises. What they had though?
Where they at though? He clearly had black eyes in the video. Talk about it. They said they had 2 black eyes. Where they at?
Shit. That's fucking hilarious. But Errol Spence says he's not stuck on the Manny Pacquiao fight. He's got another big mega fight he's looking to do. He wants to do Canelo Alvarez at 160 pounds inside Cowboy Stadium with fans.
That would be wild. I would love that. I would love that. Because that's basically, the your current versus the future. Like that's how I see it. Because Errol Spence is like I would say he's probably number 2 or 3 in the pound for pound conversation right now, and then Canelo's number 1. I mean, not official stand. I'm saying for mine. I'm saying what I would put him in.
Yeah. Apparently, Canelo is saying he's okay with the fight. He'll fight him, but he doesn't want to go all the way down to 160.
I feel him.
He said, I'm fighting at 175. You come to 168 and a half. I'll come to 168 and a half.
I thought he was bigger than that now. Okay. Yeah. That's not that much of a difference. Stop bitching, Canelo.
I agree. Also, the other big problem with the fight is Errol Spence fights for Fox, who does pay-per-view. Canelo fights for DAZN currently. He may get out of that contract. Who knows? Who does not do pay-per-view.
They would buy him out that contract so fast, bro. That's a money. That's a money thing for boxing though. Like people will hype the mess out of. Errol Spence come crazy with the Sorry, your finger distracted me.
Yeah, I'm wiping my screen. My bad.
Oh yeah, that threw me all the way off. But if Errol Spence comes talking that mess, he's not really that kind of person though. I personally feel like, at least what I've seen, he doesn't really talk that mess like that. But
Errol
I feel
Spence
like
or Canelo.
Errol both.
Okay.
But if Errol Spence if Errol Spence comes in as the bad guy, I feel like that would really sell the event because he has the confidence. He has the confidence. So
Yeah.
I would love to see that fight. I would definitely whatever night that comes out, I definitely would stop what I'm doing to see that.
I agree. We'll
I'm the
we'll
one
have a
UFC
party.
fan I miss, Travis. I'm sorry, I would have to miss that
Hey,
one.
no, I mean, I don't gonna lie to you. I've been thinking about getting a second TV and watching
Just to
boxing
watch
and
them both.
UFC simultaneously because ever since we started this show, I've become immersed into the boxing world. So like, I feel like I need to
Yeah.
start watching this shit. And but my first love and only love for sports is always going to be MMA. Like,
Yeah.
it's in my opinion the best sport of all time. Like it's the truest way to determine who's the greater whatever because it's literally
Yeah.
yourself versus another person with almost no rules. Like,
Yeah.
but with them both going on Saturdays, I might have to have a second TV and just fucking do simulcasts.
Oh yeah, yeah. That yeah. I definitely like I said, definitely just I would say get into boxing. Go through, watch a few highlight videos, like watch the Roy Jones Jr. Fights, watch some of the Bernard Hopkins, so you can develop more of a love for it. Because for the longest I didn't have pay-per-view, so I had to I had to watch it on YouTube. I had to just sit there and watch. I'd like wait for the highlight video to come out for the fight, and then I would watch
Right.
that, and I would just keep doing that. And I just like, man, this is crazy. Especially like you see like stuff like Antonio Tarver versus like Roy Jones, and then you got your Manny Pacquiao's. Like I think it was Marquez he was going up against. They fought like 1,500 times. But yeah, every time they fought, it was always lit. They fighting that featherweight, and they just be going crazy. But definitely, like I said, definitely watch that, and you'll definitely develop a love for it, like I did.
I'm with it because I'm already into boxing. I like boxing. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm not as invested into it as MMA is,
Yeah.
or as I am in MMA. Another thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. A thing that gets me about boxing is they're still very antiquated in their approach to like getting their news out.
Oh, I see what you're
Like,
saying.
because like I can't go. Like I have been really trying. We're like on what episode 6, 7 of
Mm-hmm.
this show. So I mean, there's been a few weeks where we had to go a couple weeks without doing an episode, so on and so forth. So we're probably like 2.5 months of doing this show. And the entire time I've tried to follow Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts, like anything. And like with MMA, ESPN has its own boxing program too. But ESPN MMA has its own Instagram account where they are constantly posting stuff, news and stuff. There's nothing like that for fucking boxing.
Well, okay. Well, in my opinion, it's two things going on for why it's like that.
Okay.
One, we are in a you remember because you know how light heavyweight division in UFC is going through that period, the transitional period where we're trying to figure out who the GOAT is right now,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
all the best are gone. Okay, so imagine that, but for every division in boxing.
Got you. Okay.
So we're going through that, and I mean we got our people like Errol Spence and your Canelos, where they're still doing their thing, but it's like we don't really have that shit talking guy that's what I'm saying that's out there putting on for the whole business, like a Conor McGregor. We don't have that right
Right.
because we lost that. So I think that's going on, and at the same time with the pandemic going on, we don't have the face to face, and that's usually where the stuff comes from. It's not
Got
usually
you.
a text, a tweet back and forth. It's usually crowd. It's usually Aerosmith be walking there with a crowd of people. And you see Javante Davis walking in with his crowd of people, and then they bump into each other. Then they start talking shit, and you see all the cameras going in. It's like, oh, what you gonna do? You see him? Well, I'm gonna fuck him up when I see him. Blah, blah, blah. You get that on camera. December 18th, like we don't have that for Buck. They don't really do the tweeting back and forth.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So that's why it's kind of harder to find the news and stuff like that. Because I've been looking too. Trust me, I've been looking
I
too.
feel like they don't do the media as much either. I feel like MMA is so media heavy.
Yeah,
Like there's
the promotion.
constantly interviews that like every day there's 7, 8 new interviews.
That's the thing about UFC too. The UFC, like UFC is way better at promoting than boxing is. And the thing is with them, it's like they're constantly throwing this thing in your face. So if you watch even if you watch a UFC pay-per-view right now, you'll see they're hyping you up for the next pay-per-view
Yep.
already.
Yep.
The next 5 reviews, they're talking about, oh, what's going to happen when we see, what's his name, Gaethje? Is that how you say his name? Gaethje. When we see Gaethje go up against Khabib, and they're doing it the whole time we're getting ready for this main event we're seeing now. They're doing it. They're hyping us up for this main event, but they're also hyping us up for the next main event. Because my boy TK doesn't even watch UFC. But the one he watched, he was like, hey, man, I can't wait to see this Israel Adesanya match. He didn't know who Israel Adesanya was, and he was hyped to see that fight. And he ended up watching with me. So it's like, so that's that they're good at that. They're good at the promotion.
Yep. Right.
Whereas boxing, it's just like, hey, they just keep telling you about this main event. They're like, main event's coming. Main event's coming. That's all it is. Just they just tell you about this main event. They don't get you hyped for anything else. It's just you got to be there. It's that kind of thing, and they got to get better about that. I personally feel like they got to get better about that.
I feel you on that for sure. So we've got a boxing judge is being investigated for looking at his phone. So footage shows Terry O'Connor looking at what may be his mobile phone during a fight that ended up seeing a controversial decision win for Louis Ritson over Miguel Vasquez.
Bruh, what? He on his phone. You're supposed to be judging. What are you doing? You might have missed the big hit. What are you doing?
That's yeah.
And on top of that, it's not a crowd either, so you really gotta be paying attention. You can't hear the so it's like, oh, what is happening? It's not even like that. You just gotta sit there and pay attention. Bruh, let me be a boxing judge. Why do you have to?
I thought about that too. I was like, how do you even become a boxing judge or an MMA judge? Because like,
I would love that.
I'll do it right now.
Like, I would love
that. So, but he's confident that once the video footage comes out, he'll be exonerated, but we'll see.
That's trash. You shouldn't even be looking down, looking away. You shouldn't be looking at no ring girl's cheeks. You shouldn't be looking at nothing but this fight. You should be getting right into it.
You should be leaning up against the
boat. Exactly. I'll be I'll be like that one. I always forget that referee's name. I'll be like that one referee that's just I'll be like him the whole time they fighting, man. You got a great opportunity, man. Like, not everybody gets the opportunity. You get to see these fights for free.
True.
And you get not even free. You get paid to see these fights.
Yeah, you're getting paid to do it. Right. That, by the way, did I tell you that Daniel Cormier paid $10,000 to take him and his family to see Khabib versus Dustin Poirier? Or no, I think it was Khabib. It was Khabib versus Conor. I'm sorry. That's crazy. But then he said once he helped break up the fight, when the brawl happened, Dana White gave him all his money back.
You better. I would poked up for this thing.
Right. Anthony Joshua. You said what?
I said that's the least they can do.
Right, exactly. Anthony Joshua says he wants to steam through Pulev and fight Fury.
Oh, we're supposed to do UFC news?
No, Anthony Joshua.
Oh, I'm thinking
Tyson Fury.
I'm thinking of Anthony Johnson. When you said that, I don't know. We were talking about UFC, and then you said that. I thought of Anthony Johnson. My fault. Say it again.
Anthony Joshua says he wants to steamroll through Pulev and fight Fury.
Yeah, I mean, he has to. That's it. Like your stock dropped. Like when you lost to this random that you lost to Ruiz, your stock dropped. We didn't know who that man was. He literally got a title shot through Twitter DMs. He just DM'd the promoter, was like, "Hey, let me get a title shot." He's like, "All right, bet." And then you lost to him. So your stock has dropped. like anytime somebody comes in and says that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me go ahead and just hit him up to DM. Yeah, you trying to give me a heavyweight title shot? Yeah, I got you. And then he wins. Like, come on, like you're supposed to represent. Like, you were in the top 3 heavyweight boxers at that point. It was Fury, you, and then and Wilder. Mm-hmm. And then the guy comes in and tweets and DMs through Twitter, let me get a title shot. And you lose to that, man. At that point, it's like, bro, we got to drop you a few spots. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed. So I don't know if you heard, but Tyson Fury has moved on from the Deontay Wilder rematch.
Oh, so he doesn't want to do it? Or
he's not doing it.
He's not doing it.
He said that. He said, we waited. We wanted to fight. I told you I would fight you in this year. He says that Deontay Wilder and his camp say they can't do it this year. We got to wait till next year. And basically he said, like, I'm not doing it then. I'll fight somebody this year. And they said, his manager says, we had a contract with Deontay Wilder and his team, but that contract has expired. That fight is no more.
Trying to get that money. He's like, I ain't playing with you. I'm trying to get this money.
Exactly.
And he's like, I got nothing to prove anyway. What do I look like waiting on you? Like, I already beat your ass twice.
That's what I told Damone last week. I said he's won twice. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's won twice. The first one was a little more debatable because of the fact
that knockdowns.
Yeah, because of the that's only because of the knockdowns. And when you sit there and dissect each round, Fury won about I can't remember how many rounds it was, but I would say I think I had Wilder winning like 2 rounds out of all of them, and that was a knockout one.
I was gonna say the knockdowns, yeah.
And it was the knockdowns, and I was like, I was like, he's doing this thing that round or this round, but then it'll be right back to him again, especially in the later rounds. Fury was destroying him in the later rounds, but yeah, there was no point. There was no point. Like when I feel like they should only have like you should only be able to fight somebody up to 3 times. It shouldn't be like I know some of these people they fought like 5, 6 times. That shouldn't be a thing.
Agreed.
I feel like it should be a best out of 3. If you win on them 3, you can't fight them no more. You know what I'm saying? Then you fight somebody else, and if y'all have a good thing, then y'all can do that. But yeah, I feel like a fight shouldn't go more than 3 fights, or you shouldn't have more than 3 fights with the same person, and especially you shouldn't what to say. And it shouldn't be a draw. That's like my 2 things. That's like my 2 things. It shouldn't be like you can go more 2 out of 3, and then a fight should never end in a draw. You should have a winner.
Agreed.
That's why we have uneven amount of judges, so we can do this. There's no point. I don't know.
100%. It's right now scheduled that he will defend his title on December 5th, 2020 in a 12-round, or he's defending the WBC and the ring heavyweight titles. He will be it'll be a 12-round fight, but it has not been announced who he will face. But it'll be in Royal Albert Hall, London, England. But some of the names that are thrown around to there's 5 names that Bob Arum has said that he believes will fight Fury.
They're not big names though.
No. Michael Hunter, Agit Caballel, F.A. Ajigaba, Oscar Rivas, and Charles Martin. But one person is throwing his name into the hat. His name is Otto Wallen, who many believe has given Tyson Fury his closest fight ever.
I gotta watch that one. I don't remember that one. I remember that fight.
It was after the first. I didn't realize that both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury had 2 fights in between their 2 fights.
I know Wilder did. I think I only saw one of Fury's fights in between that. But
yeah, he fought Tom Schwarz and TKO'd him in round 2, and then Otto Wallen, and unanimous decision against him.
Okay. I didn't see that one. That's one I didn't see though. But yeah, I remember Wilder was laying niggas out because he was pissed. I remember that.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I watched the Luis Ortiz fight, and I'm pretty sure he got beat up for 6 rounds and then knocked him out in the 7th.
I thought it was quicker than that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it's definitely round 7. But I remember him not doing anything pretty much throughout the whole fight and then just getting I mean, that's his thing. He doesn't have to. You have to be good the whole fight. I have to be good for 1 second. Like, okay.
That's like Wilder.
Yeah, that's what Wilder. That's literally a quote.
I like it. But the thing about Wilder is he's just, I don't know. He's just so thirsty to get the early knockout. And that's what I feel like will do him dirty every time in a big match like that.
Agreed.
Even though I've said this on camera and I said it behind, like off camera. I personally feel like Wilder would beat Tyson, like in their primes.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
I feel like
I thought you meant Tyson Fury. I was like, well, that's been
no. I mean Mike Tyson. I was like prime wise. I would say Wilder. Not only would he beat him, he would destroy him in their primes.
What happens if Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight again? and Deontay Wilder knocks him out. Now they got to fight again.
Yeah.
Now we got to do it for a fourth time.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's what would happen. That's why I feel like that should not happen, because that we've seen it happen in the past where somebody won twice and they get laid out the third time. They're like, oh well, can he really beat him? Did he really beat him the first 2 times? It's like, no, like, yeah, I beat you the first 2 times. This shouldn't even be a third match. We already beat you twice.
Yeah, I agree. The more we talk about it, the less I want to see it. And I didn't want to see it then to begin with. So like,
I personally didn't want to see it. I wanted to see Wilder win, but it's like, okay, we see who the better man out of this is. And I said this before. I said Fury might be the GOAT heavyweight, like, of all time.
Yeah.
And it's just, and the fact that Wilder keeps going in there and losing is like, it's really proving it.
Yeah, and it also kind of takes his stock down. If he goes in and loses a third fight, like.
Because when he lost the first one, because the first time he lost, it was like, well, he knocked him. The narrative was, well, he knocked him down twice. Did he really lose? Even though he did lose, but he lost. He got outclassed. And then the second time he lost, then they were like, Wilder's overrated. Wilder sucks. Blah blah. Then it was like that, but it's like that's.
But they're also using the excuse that he didn't lose. His team quit on him.
No,
they threw the towel in.
I mean, if you want to be technical, yeah, his team quit on him. But
I'm with you.
But the man lost. I mean, Tyson, I didn't like the way Tyson Fury won. I personally feel like what he did was I don't want to say cheating, but he did do a few things in the match that I've noticed to take away Wilder's energy. That was
lay on him.
He laid on him quite a few times. It was a few different things he did.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about the people saying that Conor cheated during the Khabib fight. If you're not cheating, you don't want to win.
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, let's be real here.
I can't say, like I said, that's why I'm not saying he cheated. I'm just saying he used little tactics to keep himself in the fight. That's like when somebody's getting beat down and they clinch them real quick. It's not cheating. It's just a tactic. Yeah, you use that. You need a little breather. So
it's like in wrestling when you're choking him and then the ref counts to 4 and then you have to let go before he goes to 5. Technically, you didn't break a rule because it says you have up to 5 seconds to let go.
Yeah. It's just like, they're like, oh, that's cheating. No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. He used little tactics.
Dirty.
I mean,
it's a dirty tactic. Because you want to be a clean boxer, it's just boxing.
Yeah.
Once you throw in the clinch, that's a dirty tactic.
Oh yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like. That he used little things. I gotta go back and watch it because there was like when I watched the first time around, I was like, he's you dirty dog. That's how it was. Like it was like I want to say it was like 3 or 4 different things he did that had me like.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to see Wilder fight him again. I want to see Wilder fight somebody else. Fight somebody else big. He won Anthony Joshua before. Let him beat Anthony Joshua, get his name back out there, and then
I don't think they're gonna do Wilder versus Joshua because Joshua versus Fury is the biggest boxing match in British history.
Yeah,
and why have him go lose to Wilder? Yeah. Why risk it? You see what I'm saying? Because imagine that we
from the Wilder perspective.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say because imagine we get fans like full attendance fans back right in June, and they do Wembley Stadium with Fury versus Joshua and fill that bitch up.
Oh, they're gonna fill the stadium up no matter where it's at. They're gonna fill that stadium up.
But putting it in Britain is like. Because they're both British.
Yeah.
It just makes it that much bigger. You know what I mean? It's just like a...
Oh, no. It becomes sure. They're trying to be who the king of Britain is. The king of the UK is.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're king of the world. Whoever wins that fight's the best boxer in the world at the heavyweight division.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Even I personally feel like Joshua... Well, if Joshua beats him, yeah, that would definitely do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has a lot to gain.
But the only thing about that is that Ruiz L he took. I know. Ruiz L, and then the fact that he had a close fight the second time around. It wasn't like, oh, that was a fluke. Nigga, you went the decision the second
But
time.
him going in and if he beat Tyson Fury, especially if he beat him decisively,
yeah,
that just means like, maybe Ruiz is just that good. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, Ruiz ain't playing with these niggas.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then what if Ruiz goes out and fights Wilder or something after this and knocks Wilder out?
Okay. Look, that should never happen. I'm being dead serious. That should never happen. You know how you do your 10 out of 10 times he will win.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 times Wilder should beat that man. There is no reason Ruiz. There is no way Ruiz should beat that man.
Ruiz is a good boxer. Leave him alone.
He is a good boxer, but
probably. Hold on, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Ruiz is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. If we're talking about fundamentals and boxing skills.
Yeah, of course. I personally think everybody's a better boxer.
It's like
Deontay Wilder, literally, I'm saying, if we're going by strength and reach, that man should destroy Ruiz.
No,
he should go out there. I would say that fight probably wouldn't last more than 2 rounds. If I'm being real.
You know who Wilder should fight instead? Francis Ngannou.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. And I feel like Ngannou would lose.
He probably would. I mean, I would hope so.
If it's a straight boxing match, not UFC, if it's a boxing match.
I mean, I still though, even if it was UFC, what is he going to do? He doesn't wrestle. He doesn't throw kicks. They just punch each other.
Honestly, in that situation, Ngannou would wrestle him.
Oh, I would. Yeah, 100%. Same thing with Conor versus Floyd. Conor would all of a sudden become a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and just he'd do an Imanari roll and like take his back and like it'd be crazy.
That's what I feel like. Like as soon as the boxers come over to UFC, that's when it's like, okay, let's take him down. That's when they're throwing his ass around and stuff like that.
Remember how disrespectful they were when they put James Toney versus Randy Couture? That's
exactly what I thought of too when you said that. That shit was disrespectful. Because James Toney is a great boxer.
Yeah, but he has no great boxer, like someone who's established and is a big name, has any business going to the UFC.
Yeah, I feel the same way, other way around.
I agree. But I'm gonna say this: I feel like you have a better chance of going from MMA to boxing than you do from boxing to MMA.
Holly Holm.
I know you're gonna bring her up. I feel like she's a anomaly.
Yeah.
And
the fact that the weird thing is, you came in there as a boxer, but then your special move was a high kick, was a roundhouse kick. After that,
yep,
that's crazy.
She's a kickboxer too, isn't she? Like I thought she had a pro kickboxing record.
I didn't know about that. I knew about the regular boxing.
It's the same thing with Israel Adesanya, though. He was a professional boxer, then a professional kickboxer, then a professional MMA fighter.
I think Anderson Silva was that too. And then Anderson Silva was a boxer.
He might have been. He was Muay Thai. He was a Muay Thai fighter.
Check if he was a boxer too. I could have sworn he was a boxer too.
Holly Holm had an amateur kickboxing career and then became a professional boxer. So she was a kickboxer first.
Oh, okay.
And then we're looking at Anderson Silva.
I could have sworn he was a boxer too.
We need to get a fucking producer for this show. They can come on here and do all this looking it up. Yeah. Jamie, look it up. That's a Joe Rogan. Shout out. No, he's only done mixed martial arts.
Anderson Silva?
Yeah. His first foray into martial arts began as a child training jiu-jitsu. And he, as a teen, he began training in Taekwondo, Capoeira, and Muay Thai, but he only has I lied. Professional boxing record. He's 1-1 in boxing. He quit on this stool in his first fight.
You see, he quit on the stool?
Yeah.
So it was in between rounds. He was like, "Nah, I'm good, bro."
Yeah,
And that's the thing too. Well, before, like when Anderson Silva was in the GOAT conversation, like before he like got really, really old, started taking L's like on the regular.
Oh, wait. Hold it. Save this. Let's get through boxing because that's my first topic for.
No. I just had one quick thing to say. I was just saying before he, it was like right after when he broke his leg and
Weidman.
I can't think of his name. Yeah, but right after Weidman lost, me and my boy Tim used to always argue about who the GOAT was between John Jones and Anderson Silva. I was always on John Jones' side. And I would always say, I'd be like, your GOAT lost literally every way possible in UFC. He's lost by knockout, submission, decision, That's it. Did I think he lost by DQ too?
Disqualification.
You
Yeah,
said what?
he got DQ'd too.
Yeah, I was saying he lost literally every way possible, and that's why I was like, my goat would never. But yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, and he's getting salty off that. But yeah,
So the three of the most anticipated boxing matches of 2021: Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin 3.
no, I'm good on that.
We've been
I'll
talking
watch
about
it.
this for 3 weeks or 4 weeks now, and it is what it is. I mean, I see it from the money spot. I don't see it for anything else really. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr.
Yes, that's what I want to see.
And then Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I watched that.
I think it has to happen. That's the issue. But let's talk about Levin. Your body and the bodies you're Levin deserve nothing but the best. Organic Levin is the only adult subscription box that includes eco-friendly body products, from body-safe adult toys to sex-positive books and erotic seminars. Organic Levin's online store has everything you and your partner or partners could need to heat things up. And right now, your friends at T13 want to take 10% off your next order. Just go to organiclevin.com and use the promo code T13 when you check out. That's the letter T, the number 1, and then THREE spelled out. And that is organic, LOVEN.com. Organic Levin. Love organically, purely, deeply, and boldly. So going back to jump right back into that Anderson Silva conversation. A couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, Damone and I got into an argument off air about Anderson Silva and how good Anderson Silva really is.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to air out the dirty laundry here and get some feedback from someone else that was not involved in the conversation. I mean, you kind of got drug into it, but you didn't really contribute. So I just want to see what you think. First of all, in your opinion, is Anderson Silva in the GOAT conversation?
Yeah, but these recent losses hurt the legacy. That's what I feel like. I feel like if he had retired after the Weidman loss, he would have been straight. After that, it was just on the decline after that.
So, okay, I'm kind of with you. I'm with you here. So the conversation came out with, I said, should Masvidal avoid Colby at all costs? If I'm Masvidal, I'm trying to fight both Diaz brothers, Conor, Anderson Silva, Israel Adesanya, hell, Leon Edwards. Damone says, I don't know about all costs, but if the money ain't right, yeah, Edwards would be huge. I said, I'm not trying to fight someone who stylistically doesn't work for me, because in my opinion, if he fights Colby, he's going to be in a two fight loss streak and may lose all momentum. Masvidal should be padding his record right now. He said, agreed. So I said, go get some big money fight, beat Nate for real this time, then call out Nick and tell him you're going to punk him too. After that, say you want to retire Anderson. Then you can use that to either A, call out Leon for a number 1 contender fight, or B, go up to middleweight full time and fight Izzy for the belt. And also anywhere in there, you can call out Conor and beat him, which I'm not positive he can beat Conor. I'm going to be honest with you, but at least you're getting big fights. And then Damone says, I ended Ben Askren, now I'm going to end the GOAT. And I said, Anderson isn't the GOAT. I said, he's probably not top 5 anymore. He says, that's a wild take in my opinion, but for the hype promo, you call him the GOAT. He's the middleweight GOAT still. And I said, Jones, Mighty Mouse, Habib, DC, GSP, Cejudo, they're all better. I said, Conor is arguably better because fought in the 3 toughest divisions, and on top of that was first double champ. Damone says, Mighty Mouse didn't fight anyone until Cejudo, to be honest. Cejudo left mid-prime. Issue for DC is he's not the GOAT in either of his divisions. I said DC is the second best in both of his divisions, and Stipe has an asterisk because of his eye poke. Also, Mighty Mouse is 1,000% the most technically great fighter ever. He said it's Jones, GSP, Silva, Khabib, Nunes if take out gender, Mighty Mouse of just men's. I said, Anderson has lost 10 times, Damone. DC has four losses to 2 guys across 2 divisions. He's a 2-division champ. I said, I know Anderson is your guy, but come on. I don't even like DC like that. But he's better than Anderson. He pummeled Anderson in their fight. He said he's fought past his prime doesn't mean he wasn't one of the most dominant of his prime, one of the most dominant during his prime. I said, that's his problem, not mine. You continue to fight. It just gets added to your legacy. He said, and then he replied to when I said he pummeled Anderson in their fight. He says, really? Really? I said, yes, really. He says, on like 3 days' notice, he fought out of his division to help save the card. I know you hate him, but give this man his flowers. I said, Jones, Habib, GSP, Nunes, Mighty Mouse, Cejudo, Stipe, DC, Shevchenko, Conor, and Silva. Conor and Silva is a tie. I said, that's my top 10 out of his division, ? To reply to what he said about DC. I said, he had already fought at light heavyweight 3 times before that and was dominating. So, like, let's not play like Anderson Silva jumped up fucking 45 pounds in weight to fight for this. Yeah. It's not like Max Holloway was willing to fight Habib on 24 hours notice when Max Holloway's a 145er and had never fought at 155. He said Silva dominated his division for almost a decade. DC might not have ever been light heavyweight champ if Jones wasn't a fuckboy. And he said not his main division. I said, did he accept the fight? And I said, actually, fuck that. Do you think he could ever beat DC? Prime on prime. Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier. Let's be honest. He says Prime Silva was a bad motherfucker. DC, because of his natural size advantage, probably win 6 out of 10 times. But if Silva could keep it standing, he could pick him apart. I know it's a giant if. I said, is DC better than Chael Sonnen? He says, obviously. And I know. Sonnen took him down at will, which is why I said it was a big if. I said, DC wins that fight 9 out of 10 times. Because he's just going to take him down and smother him.
Yeah.
He says, maybe, but every fight starts standing. Also, per the Stipe rematches, he doesn't always use his wrestling advantage, so possibly tries to stand with Silva to prove a point. Also, I didn't know when you gift a sub, or that's something different. He threw in some random shit in there. I said, but you're wild as fuck for saying he better than DC. He said, I don't feel like I am. I said he's top 10 and you're saying that's disrespectful. That's wild. He says, that's low in my opinion. I said, you're fucking fried. He has double digits losses. Get the fuck out of here. He said, when I said Conor wasn't top 5 and you said I was a hater. I said, Conor isn't top 5. He's probably 12. I'm doing a top 15 now with no ties right now. He says, you said he was top 5. I said I was wrong. And then this is when the conversation moved to the other.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
No, I agree with what you said about 90. I agree with about 95% of what you said.
Okay, so what did you not agree with?
The only thing I'm trying to remember. There's a lot.
No, I know. I just read through a fucking 20-minute text conversation. So
yeah. So the thing is, prime on prime. Yes, I would say DC beats Anderson Silva. I know the fight's going to start off standing up, but people sleep on the fact that DC has a good stand-up too. It's not like
exactly
he's just a wrestler only. He can lay your ass out too if you wanted to. He can knock you out. So I feel like his power, he would just overpower Anderson Silva the whole time. He's not these other guys. It's like, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and try to, he's not a Forrest Griffin that's going to try to fight with him and doesn't have that. He's not your standard MMA fighter. Like, I think back in the day, they kind of like fought the same. Like Chuck Liddell, Stephen Bonner, who else? Tito Ortiz. They all kind of fought the same.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much once you beat one, you can kind of run through them all. I personally feel like, and that's where John Jones was striving because he didn't fight anything like that. He didn't fight anything like that. So it was like, okay. So that's why he was picking apart the division like that. And so was Anderson Silva. So I feel like personally, when you got someone like, your DCs, your John Joneses, your Anderson Silvas, it's hard to beat them. And I feel like honestly with Masvidal, even though he has double-digit L's, it's still going to be good for him to get the Anderson Silva fight so he can have that name.
I'm with that.
That had a name in his career. And I personally feel like Silva would lose, but it'll be closer.
No, I agree. I'm not saying anything about it was my idea for Masvidal to fight Silva. I said Silva's not the GOAT. Silva's not even top 5. Silva came in at number 10 on my list.
I would put, and that's the thing though, because of the L's he was taking recently, he fucked up his own thing. Because I think there was a point where I had him because I personally at the highest, I think I had him at number 3.
I think I had him at 2 at one point.
It was either I was at 2 or 2.
No, when he was before Jones and in his prime, I had Silva at 1. It was Silva, GSP, so on and so forth. I think BJ Penn was probably up there. I don't know. Back then, there was not as much. Frank Shamrock, Randy Couture. But same thing with BJ Penn. BJ Penn did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's looked at as a loser now because
the way you ended your career, and that's what I feel like. The good thing about, just going back to boxing for a quick second, the thing about Muhammad Ali was when he took an L back in the, if you go through his record and you see whenever he took an L, he usually avenged it. Whenever he took an L,
I think there's only one guy he hasn't avenged, right?
It was 2. It was 2, and
okay.
It was 2. One of them, Larry Holmes, whooped his ass for the longest. He beat his. It was 15-round bout, and he beat that man 15 rounds. Nobody stopped it. He was just in the corner, just taking the hits over and over. It's really, honestly, it's really sad to see when you watch it. It's not like an entertaining. Oh, he's whooping his ass. It's stop the fight. It's like one of them kind of things. It's like, stop that fight. And I feel like Anderson Silva and BJ Penn and Diego Sanchez, they were cold at one point, and then it was just y'all keep fighting and you just ruining your legacy. There was a point where y'all were having y'all's career, if you had ended it when you were supposed to end it, you would be talked about in the GOAT conversation. Well, not Diego Sanchez, but you would be talked about in the GOAT conversation. Chuck Liddell too, even though to this day I don't understand why he is in the GOAT conversation, but you can argue a little more. Yeah. But when I go back and think about it, I don't understand why. I mean, I think I asked you before, and you were like, well, he was Dana White's golden boy.
It was a hype machine. Was and people. It's the same reason Mike Tyson's in the GOAT conversation. He hit really hard.
Yeah,
and he knocked people he flatlined people. That was his thing.
Yeah, but with Mike Tyson, I said this before too. And the reason why I said he would lose the Wilder and other people is because of when they fought a name, what did they do?
Yeah, that's the same thing with Chuck Liddell. Who did he beat? Yeah. He beat Randy Couture, but Randy Couture was aging at that point. I mean, okay, that's probably his biggest win. I mean, I don't know. Let me look at his.
Didn't he beat Tito?
He did beat Tito. But that's his claim to fame is. I don't know, man. I just don't think that. I think that it's one of those. You know that he's always going to beat Tito, in their primes. It's meant to be that way for whatever reason.
Is, like I said earlier, they all fought alike. They all fought Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. They all fought alike. So by the time he fought someone like Rashad Evans, who fights differently, Rashad Evans was coming out like a boxer when he first started.
Yeah.
Even though he would mix in the kick stuff, he was like a kickboxer, but mainly he was like a boxer that can wrestle. So the thing was, when he laid him out like he did, everybody was in shock. I personally wasn't, because I was like, Rashad Evans fights different. Rashad Evans is a different breed. I hated Rashad Evans back then. I hated that man.
Yeah.
I hated him until after he beat Rampage. Because I wanted him to get killed by Rampage bad. I was like, when they do a stand up, I was like, it's gonna be a crazy fight. But then he ended up taking him down the entire time. I was like, okay, he played it smart. Even though I'm sorry they went out like this, I was like, he played it smart.
That was the other thing about Chuck Liddell before the second Rampage fight. He had only lost 3 fights. He lost to Jeremy Horn, Randy Couture, and Rampage. He ended up beating Randy Couture for the title. Mm-hmm. His first defense of the title was Jeremy Horn, so he avenged both his losses. Then beat Randy Couture again in their trilogy. Beat Renato Sobral, who was a big name back in the day. Babalu Sobral. Then he beat Tito for the second time.
So,
and
okay.
then then it was so he had the same thing as Ali,
I was
where
gonna say so
everybody he lost, he
avenged it.
avenged, and then it was coming for the Rampage fight. And if you avenge that, like
He definitely would have been
now,
Ali.
you see what I'm saying? But then it's like he got knocked out by Rampage. He got knocked out by Keith Jardine. He beat Vanderlei Silva in the 2008 Fight of the Year, which would be his last win of his career. And then he lost. He got knocked out by Rashad Evans.
That was the last one in his career?
Yeah, in 2007.
I never did see that fight either, and I gotta go back and watch that.
I don't think I've ever seen it either. But seeing it's Fight of the Night and Fight of the Year is crazy. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that too because I'm like when you said that I was like I've never seen that fight.
Rashad Evans, he got knocked out by him. Shogun Rua TKO'd him. Rich Franklin knocked him out, and then 8 years later he got knocked out by Tito Ortiz.
You said Rich Franklin like he was supposed to do it. Rich Franklin is cold.
He's good, but no, he's not the guy that knocks people out.
Rich Franklin could do it though.
It wasn't a TKO either. It was a knockout. He flatlined this man. That's not what Rich Franklin does.
Rich Franklin, bro? He's my dude back in the day.
I loved Rich Franklin, the pink and brown. I loved it, but like,
he was my boy back in the day, bro. Angry Jim Carrey, that was my boy.
I don't know, man. He just be doing shit.
I mean,
also, this is not even like this was past his prime. Rich Franklin too. He lost to Anderson Silva, lost the title. Okay. He won 2 more fights after that, lost again to Anderson Silva, won 2 fights after that, lost to Dan Henderson. Then he beat Vanderlei Silva. Then he lost to Vitor Belfort. Then he beat Chuck Liddell. Then he lost to Forrest Griffin. Then he beat Vanderlei Silva. Then he lost to Kung Lee. Like,
but you gotta think though, the people he lost to, they weren't no slouches, bro. Those are all cold fighters besides Forrest Griffin.
Dan Henderson. I mean, Forrest Griffin for the era was fine.
I can never get behind the Forrest Griffin train.
I don't like Forrest Griffin because
I like Forrest Griffin too. Like I like him like as a person and shit. Like he's cool as a person, whatever. He's cool.
I didn't when he ran out of the cage crying, and then they had to bring him back. Well, he ran out of the cage crying because he thought he lost, and then they brought him back because he actually won. Was weird to me.
I mean, I feel you on that, but I personally feel like I never understood the hype behind him. I was like, he's not that good. And then when Anderson Silva beat him, I was like, well, there you go. But with Rich Franklin L's, it made sense. Like the ones he lost to, it was like, bro, those weren't no slouches. And he beat like Vanderlei Silva, and he's beating different people. Like those were cold fighters he was beating too. On top of that, it wasn't like
he beat Vanderlei, not Anderson.
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
I know that. But I'm just saying, like,
he lost to Anderson.
That's still Vanderlei Silva, and he ain't no slouch either. He used to do Rampage and every time they fought.
That was 2012, though. Like, I didn't realize he fought that far into. That's crazy.
Yeah, the hype wasn't there for him anymore, but still, I don't know. That's just me.
I'm not saying like Rich Franklin is a bad motherfucker. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, respect that man.
Also, his first loss was to Lyoto Machida. That's crazy.
That's not a bad. That's what I'm saying. Like these L's he's taking, they're not like.
Yeah, he lost. This isn't. But he's also not beating anybody at this point.
I mean, I understand that, but like I said, the names you're saying, these are top dog. This is back when Lyoto was the top dog. This is wasn't that right after the Rashad Evans dub? Rashad Evans was the top dog at that point, and then he took the L to Lyoto, and Lyoto was the top dog, and then
no, that's before. This is before that. This is 2003. Lyoto Machida beat him, and Inoki Bombaye. 2003.
I never heard of that man.
No, that's the event. Inoki Bombaye.
Oh, I was like, I thought it was a person. I was like, well, I've never heard of that.
It's the Bombaye, like Ali Bombaye.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what
it's Antonio Inoki. It's like the mix between them.
When I say I know my UFC because I'm like, I ain't never heard of him. Like I'm not lying. Yeah, he was a good fighter. Like, nah, I've never heard.
He lost Leo to Machida. Then he came in his first, in my opinion, first real big win. He beat Evan Tanner in his UFC debut. But like he was 19-1-1 because he had a draw earlier in his career. Or no contest, I'm sorry. Because there was a foot injury. I don't know who.
Rich Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rich, I'm telling you, like Rich 19-1-1 is not bad.
But
bro.
he's not fighting anybody. That's the problem.
I mean, I feel you, but
He fought Leo Machida, and that's the only Leo Machida and Evan Tanner. He's 1-1 against names. Then he fought Ken Shamrock, and he TKO'd Ken Shamrock, but Ken Shamrock was an old man at this point. This is 2005.
Yeah.
He beat Evan Tanner here, Nate Quarry. This is where you start to get some
Nate
legit
Quarry,
wins, right?
Name. Especially on the come up, it's not a bad name.
So he has Evan Tanner, Nate Quarry. He wins David Lozow. I don't know who that is, but I've heard the name, but like I couldn't tell you anything about him.
Yeah, he's not really good.
And then his very next fight, he loses to Anderson Silva. He beats Jason McDonald and Yushin Okami. Yushin Okami was a decent fighter. I don't remember Jason McDonald.
Jason McDonald was a decent fighter too. I remember him.
I don't remember him. Then he fought Anderson Silva again, lost. He beat Travis Luter and Matt Hamill, decent fighters.
Matt Hamill was good. I don't remember the other guy.
Yeah, he's the only man to ever beat John Jones. Dan Henderson. He loses to Dan Henderson in a split decision, so that's okay. He beats Vanderlei in a unanimous decision. He gets TKO'd by Vitor. He knocks out Chuck Liddell, like not clean knockout.
Yeah.
Damn. For unanimous decision loss to Forrest Griffin. Unanimous decision win against Vanderlei Silva, and then gets knocked out by Kung Lee.
That's his last fight was against Kung Lee.
Yep.
That's not a bad resume though. That's not bad though. So
it's not bad, but
what's his final record?
29-7-1.
That's a good record.
Yeah, but the issue is he fought 20 fights or 21 fights before he fought anybody.
And you got to remember, that part too, but you got to remember, he's not an elite fighter. I don't consider him an elite fighter. I'm just saying I'm saying
he's a mid-carder.
Yeah, he was a high mid-carder, and I'm just like,
he's the
that's not bad. That's not bad for him to actually go through and fight these main eventers like that and be able to take a few of them down. Like that's not.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you.
That's why I said I was like Rich Franklin. Like I ain't gonna sit there and say he's the GOAT and like that, but I can sit there and be like, you can argue Rich Franklin was a great fighter. You can just argue that. I'm just saying like we bring up names, you can throw them in there. You can talk about them too. That's all I'm saying.
I like that my conversation about asking if Anderson Silva is any good went down to is Rich Franklin any good?
I mean, yeah, because we're talking about different people that he fought, so it's like we got to do that. So people like Rich Franklin. There's the people that's like Rich Franklin.
That's another question though. You gotta look at Anderson Silva's record. Who did he fight?
Anderson Silva fought some people.
Let's look because I feel like he fought some people, but I don't know.
Yes, he definitely fought some people, and the thing, it wasn't until later on though. I think when he was on the middleweight run, I personally think his resume was trash.
Yeah,
but then
so
it got better.
He fought Carlos Newton. That's his first big name fight.
Yeah.
He beat him, but he's already taken a loss at this point. He's already 11-1.
Is Pride included in that?
I'm starting from the beginning of his career.
Okay.
This is in Pride. He fought Carlos Newton in Pride. I mean,
because he lost to Okami.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet. He takes two more. He's already taken 1 L at this point. A unanimous decision to Luis Azaredo. He's now lost to Daiju Takase by triangle choke. Yeah. He beats Jeremy Horn. He's got 3 wins here, 3 wins in a row, but the only name is Jeremy Horn. Then he loses to Rio Chonin by flying scissor heel hook. Mm-hmm. That sounds nasty. He beats Jorge Rivera, which I
think that's the one he tapped immediately. Like as soon as he got put in the, I remember seeing that. I think that's the one. He got put in the move and he didn't how people wait, they're trying to struggle through it.
Yeah.
He was like, move. He's tapped immediately. And that was what I kept showing Tim. He was getting salty.
Yushin Okami, he got DQ'd.
Yeah.
Then he had one more fight, then he got to the UFC. So this from here on out is all UFC fights.
Yep.
He beat Chris Lieben,
This
knockout,
one.
knocked out Rich Franklin, knocked out Travis Lutter, knocked out Nate Marquardt, knocked out Rich Franklin.
It's a good one.
So far, in my opinion, Chris Lieben, Rich Franklin, Travis Lutter, and Nate Marquardt are all mid-carders to upper mid-carders. They're not anybody that I feel like are like, ooh.
No, those.
You know what I mean?
But to come in and fight them is not bad.
No,
Like,
I'm with you. I'm with you. Dan Henderson submission, rear naked choke. That's a good win. James Irvin. What?
James Irvin was okay. He was okay. We ain't gonna play that much. He was okay.
He beat him. Patrick Cote. Okay. Tyler Lighties. Okay. Forrest Griffin.
Now we're getting
Damian
to
Maya.
like, you got to remember that middleweight. I said that then. The middleweight division was kind of trash. I said that then.
That's got to go into the GOAT conversation too. If you're beating up everybody and then they're just trash fight, it's like it's going to be the same issue that people are going to say about John Jones. The first half of his career is killers. The second half of his career is a bunch of middleweights that couldn't be middleweights anymore because they got fat, so they went up to 205.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. He already beat everybody.
It's not, but it goes into it. It goes into it because he's not fight. I don't know. Damian Maya, that's a decent win, but Damian Maya has been proven to be kind of a choke artist when it comes to big fights.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen, which he got beat up. I mean, it is what it is. He won the fight because he obviously choked him out, but
yeah, but he was losing.
Right.
Because if I had bet money, because I wanted to bet money on the second one, I thought Chael Sonnen was going to beat him, then he got his ass beat.
He did. He got fucked up. Vitor Belfort, that's a good win. Yushin Okami, that's a good win. Chael Sonnen again, that was a great win. That to me is career defining.
Yeah, avenged it. So he's like
Bonner. Nah.
At that point, Stephen Bonner was old.
Yeah, 2012. Stephen Bonner. Then now we get into the point. So far he doesn't really have a lot of big wins.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell. Like I was trying to tell Tim this because we had this argument, and I was sitting there saying, I was like, another thing you can argue about to why my GOAT is better than your GOAT is the resume. The resume, if you look at John Jones' resume, it's killing Anderson Silva's resume. It just
agreed.
Yeah.
So then he loses to Chris Weidman twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has a no contest with Nick Diaz. It was originally a unanimous decision win for Silva, but he tested for drostanolone and androsterone, and Nick Diaz tested positive for marijuana. He loses to Michael Bisping. He loses to Daniel Cormier. He has a win against Derek Brunson. He loses to Israel Adesanya.
He fought DC?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got smashed. He was supposed to fight. DC was supposed to fight John Jones. John Jones popped for cocaine or steroids or went to jail or fucked a hooker.
I gotta watch that fight. I don't remember that fight.
Literally, all DC did was took him down and held him down and beat the fuck out of him for 5 rounds.
No, I
for 3 rounds.
I just pictured it now. I just pictured it
because it's an iconic thing of him holding him against the cage and just.
Yeah, I do remember that now. I was like, but I do remember that. I do remember watching that.
That's why I said you can't tell me Anderson Silva's a better fighter than DC because it happened.
Yeah,
like it happened. And then fucking Damone's gonna be like, well, he only had 3 days notice. DC only had 3 days notice.
He knew what to do with him.
Oh my god. It's not like they told DC 6 months ahead, like, you're gonna fight Anderson Silva, but we're not gonna tell him until Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Shut the fuck up.
Go back a few fights. Go back like 2 more fights before
that. Nick Diaz, is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
So Nick Diaz, no contest because of the drug tests. Michael Bisping, he lost to. Daniel Cormier, he lost to. Derek Brunson, he beat. Israel Adesanya, he lost to. And then Jared Cannonier, he lost to. By leg kick.
Honestly, when we go through the whole thing like we just did, we got to drop Anderson Silva.
It makes me question his top 10 spot.
We got to drop him.
He might drop. He's below Conor, in my opinion. Conor has a fucking resume.
Let's go through his resume real quick so we can see. We have to do this on air. We had to do this on air while we just did that one.
Yep, let's do it.
Gotta see because Anderson Silva's your legacy is looking a little shaky right now.
That's what I'm saying. Shaky. Conor is currently I don't know how much he has. 10 losses. I don't know Anderson Silva. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up on another tab. I want to know what. Losses? Yeah, he has 10 losses. I know that for a fact.
Oh, you know, I feel about them double digits.
He's 34, 10 and 1. Conor is 22 and 4. So Conor has no real. I mean, here's the thing. He has no real big fights until he gets to the UFC. He has Joe Duffy, who's a decent, you know what I mean, like, and he lost to him via submission.
Yeah, I remember
I think he's only lost via submission. He has.
Yeah, that's the only he's ever lost. That's why I was telling people, like, when, like, I was like, the only way they beat him is to make him tap.
Yeah.
Unless Primetime Willie was going to fight him, I feel like he would have knocked him
out. So, but yeah, so first 14 fights, he has not a lot going on here. But here's the issue. He comes in, he fights Marcus Bramage, who is not a big name. I'm not going to stunt for Conor. But then he fights Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Then he fights Diego Brandao. Then he fights Dustin Poirier. Then he fights Dennis Seaver. Then he fights Chad Mendez. Then he fights Jose Aldo. Winning all of those. Everybody except for Max Holloway got knocked out. Inside of 3 rounds. Or 2 rounds, I'm sorry. Then he fought Nate Diaz and got choked out in round 2.
Okay.
Then he fought Nate Diaz and beat him by majority decision. Then he picked apart Eddie Alvarez.
That was bad.
It wasn't even a competitive fight. Like, that was his best showing of all time.
Going in, I thought that was going to be a really, really close fight going to decision, and Eddie Alvarez might win it. That's what I thought was going to happen. But the fact that he destroyed him like that, it was like, okay, Conor McGregor ain't playing with these niggas.
Yeah. Then he fought Khabib, who we'll get into that later, but I mean, it is what it is.
He destroyed him.
He lost. I look at it. There's 3 ways to look. We'll get into. Conor gave out his official analysis of the fight, and it's on the docket for today. But there's you guys, you and Damone that say he got destroyed. There's me who looks at it in a slightly more positive light for Conor, and then there's Conor who saw something completely different. But whatever.
Yeah.
And then finally you got Donald Cerrone, which he mollywopped that boy.
That was bad. I forgot to even fought until you brought it back up a couple of podcasts ago. And I was like, oh, he did. I was like, that was when he was doing this.
Donald Cerrone threw 1 punch and missed.
Yeah, that was bad.
He got fucked up. And also, Conor coming out and saying that he's going to knock him out with a head kick and then knocked him out with a head kick is nasty.
Anytime you predict something and you do it, it makes you look colder than what you already are.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, it made it worse with the Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm.
That's what I was about to say.
She predicted it. Like, it wasn't even like Holly Holm predicted it. It was like, nah, all she got to do is all she got is that head kick.
Daniel Cormier did it too.
You lose to a head kick. You said what?
Daniel Cormier did it too.
Yeah.
What, John, you think I'm just going to duck to the right when I throw my hands? You think that's what we were working on that? Nope. Duck to the right, head kick, just like you called, DC.
Goofy.
But yeah, I'm going Conor over Anderson.
The way it's looking, yeah.
Because that 145 run, in my opinion, we had this conversation too. Conor's the best featherweight of all time. My top 3 are.
Was Conor, Mighty? What division is Mighty Mouse in? When he was dominating?
He's 125.
Was it flyweight?
Yeah, he's the smallest.
Okay, so he's not featherweight. Okay,
no.
Never mind. Keep going there. I was trying to make sure that wasn't the same division.
My order is Conor, Holloway, Aldo. Because Damone was like, you can't just discredit Aldo's 10 years of dominance. And I'm like, I can, because that's the same time that Uriah Faber was having his fucking years of dominance when no one was fighting in those divisions, because it was in WEC when no big names were going there. Like, quit playing with me. And then he fucking went and fought. He fought Conor, and Aldo fought. He beat him. So there you go. That decides it for me. Then, and you can't say like, oh, Aldo was old, because that was in fucking. Hold on. They fought in 2015, and Jose Aldo at this point in time is 33 years old today. So he was 28 when they fought.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
Yeah, they're right. And then Conor
was champion too.
Yeah, exactly. Conor beat Max Holloway. And then, if you want to look at it, Max Holloway beat Jose Aldo twice.
Yeah, we got to drop it.
There's no way. Like, Jose's in his spot. He's doing his thing. That's cool. He's the third greatest of all time in that division, but he's behind Max and Conor.
Yeah, to be real. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah.
So I'm looking at my list, and I've got fuck, I just lost it now. Of course. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I got Anderson Silva at 10, and I've got Conor at 13. So I'm going to move Anderson to 13 and it'll go Frank Shamrock, Randy Couture, Conor McGregor.
I'm surprised you didn't put Conor over Couture.
I think Couture was the original trailblazer of jumping divisions, and he's a 2-time three-time light heavyweight and a 2-time heavyweight champion. And he had title defenses. Conor doesn't have any title defenses.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that.
So that's my only thought process. But we have a lot more to talk about, and none of this was on the docket originally. So Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie happened Saturday. Did you get to see the fight?
No, I did not get to see it.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
Brian Ortega picked him apart on his feet.
Doing back-to-back podcasts that day, so I missed all that.
I feel you. Conor beat not Conor. I just read Conor on this tab up here. Brian Ortega beat the Korean Zombie
as he should,
decisively. But on the feet, which I don't think anybody really thought like Brian Ortega. Like, I think we all thought Brian Ortega needs to take him down and submit him, especially since he hasn't fought in over 2 years. In his last fight, he got picked apart by Max Holloway on the feet. So it looked like Korean Zombie has a good chance to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like that. Yeah, that's supposed to happen. I had Ortega win that anyway. So
I don't like Ortega just because he the thing with Jay Park and him waiting until Zombie went to the bathroom and then went over there and slapped him up when there's no protection. Like, I feel like that's a bitch move, and it's like,
It is, but he beat him though.
And then they were all hugging and like laughing together and bowing to each other and shit afterwards. I don't care if you beat me or not. If you slap up my boy, like, if someone comes up and slaps you and I got to go fight him and I lose, like, I can't be joking with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's disrespectful to your friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be Habib Conor levels. Like, it's never over. We beef for life. Like, that's it. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. So it's highly rumored that it's going to be Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega for the title next. Who you got there?
I'm cool with it.
Who you picking though?
I don't know. I really don't. That's a hard one. Who you got?
I think Brian Ortega is going to win because I don't think Volkanovski is that good. I think Max Holloway beat him in both of their fights and got screwed on decisions.
Yeah, I mean, when you say like, yeah, because I was debating, I was like, but I don't know. Yeah, it'd probably be Ortega then. If I had to say it then. Get me on camera saying it.
So Nate Diaz has been going back and forth with Dan Hooker about possibly going for a fight. Dan Hooker said, basically said 155 or 170 where you want it. And Nate Diaz said 165 pounds, which we know everybody's trying to get that. They're trying to go 155, 165, and then move 170 up to 175. Because it's just it's a better, what's the word I'm looking for? A better shift of weight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're only going 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, instead 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. You see what I'm saying? So it just fits better for it to be that way. But Dana White's vocally against it. He does not want to do that. And so Dana White replied to the tweet and said, "Nope." And Nate Diaz responded and says, "I wasn't asking." What do you mean? Like,
he said no. No.
Speaking of two guys that could be really good at 165, if they were to bring that in, Habib says that if McGregor beats Poirier at 155 pounds, he is the number one contender. But if they fight at 170, then it's out of the question for either man to get a shot at 155. He says you can't fight at welterweight and expect to get a title shot at lightweight.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with him. I guess I'm with him, but
I mean,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the 155ers being like, "Hey, let's fight," but not have to cut weight. Like,
yeah, no, I definitely agree because it's like being at that division. You're like, bro, what am I doing all this for? This guy can jump from his division to my division and become champion. Like,
yeah,
he got to earn it too. Like, I definitely feel him.
Habib's just saying you got to cut weight for every fight. You can't just cut weight just for championship fights, which I get it. I'm with him. So Conor though had some things to say about Habib, specifically about his fight with Habib. Okay. So this is a direct quote. I typed this all out from Conor's Twitter, and this is his breakdown of the fight. On the Moolah, round one's mine. Outstruck 3-1. Elbow, knees, clatters. He held on. Two's his, but I land multiple knees. One from standing after the overhand and one from the bottom to the eye socket at the Kimura attempt. Not a scratch, end of the round also. I won round 3 and 4 up until the trip. Damage. Backhands forced him to the fence. Knee into the neck as he shot after 15 seconds of opening bell. Heavy elbow right into his temple as he froze after a shot. Repeated clatters to the temple while he tries his mermaid wrap leg. Round 1 was pitiful for him. Round 2 saved him. Oh no, it's a mermaid leg wrap. End of fight. Yeah, not a scratch. Relaxing before I bounce up and beat his brother and his cousin around. So in Conor's eyes, he won round 1. Habib won round 2.
And then Conor won 3 and 4?
Conor won 3 and then was winning 4 until he got tripped. So, which when he got tripped is when he took his back and submitted him. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I am not that far off with Conor. I've seen this fight a lot. I've watched this fight a ton of times. Like, probably seen this fight more than I've seen any other fight ever.
I've seen the fight, I want to say twice, but I can't remember like that. From what I remember, I had Conor McGregor winning 1 round in the entire thing.
I had him winning 2. Well, yeah, no, 1, because I only count 4 rounds. So round 1 was really close. Conor did better. Period. You said what? Yeah, exactly. Well, Conor did a lot of good anti-wrestling stuff that really like kind of negated what and neutralized what Khabib was trying to do. Habib really didn't do anything except lay on him and try to get better positioning, and he couldn't really do it. Conor was striking the whole time, was fighting against the wrestling, doing a great job. I still gave it to Habib because I think that octagon control is what's going to get him there. The takedown and the octagon control is what's going to get him that victory. So I'm giving that to him. Round 2, in my opinion, so 10-9 for Habib in that round. Round 2 is a 10-8 round for Habib. If the ref would have stopped the fight in the middle of his ground and pound, I wouldn't have been angry because Conor got not only did he get dropped from standing with that overhand right, he was getting dominated. Like he was getting mauled. And the fight probably should have been stopped, but whatever. To his credit, he is right. He got up and he had no scratches, no blood, no nothing. And he was laughing and taunting Khabib after he stood up. He immediately jumped right up after the bell rang, after getting pounded on for 5 minutes, and was laughing and yelling at him. So maybe it just looked worse on TV than it really was. Round 3, this was definitely Conor's round. He was picking apart Khabib on the feet. It was like he got a second wind. He looked fresh. He was winning the fight on the feet. I don't think Khabib got a single takedown. He got rocked once, I believe. It was a good round for McGregor. Round 4 started the same way. Conor was looking like he was going to take the round. And if he could have won round 4 and got into round 5 and made that round at least close, it's a toss-up. But the problem is he didn't. He got tripped and he got choked out. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you did because at the end of the day, you tapped out.
Yeah.
That being said, I understand where he's coming from because he's trying to earn a second fight or trying to market a second fight, which has me nervous for both sides of that fight because I feel like either man can win because I feel like Khabib's got it in his head that he's just the most dominant fighter of all time and he dominated Conor and so on and so forth, right? Because that's what everybody's saying. And I don't believe that's true. But at the same time, if he gets got, then what? You know what I mean? Like if Conor gets got, it looks bad. Yeah, I don't agree with Conor that he won every round except round 2. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, nah. From what I remember Khabib pretty much winning every round. Besides one round where, like I said, it must have been that third round then where Conor looked like he was doing something, and then he ended up losing.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna go back and watch it again. But like I said, I ain't watched.
I think it's free on YouTube, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I'll check. It probably is. Usually, when you give it like a year, it pops up on YouTube. But yeah, I'll definitely rewatch it because I definitely want to. I got some fights to watch.
Yeah, same. But Chris Weidman says he will fight Khamzat Chimaev in January. Chimaev says anytime, anywhere, but why do you need so long? You're supposed to be a fighter. You're supposed to always be ready. You agree or disagree with this?
When I hear people say they got a specific time frame they want to fight somebody, I think one or two things happen. I think either they got injured and they're trying to let that wear off, or they have a game plan they're trying to do. It's not all the way perfected yet. They need time. And that's why I feel like certain people do
that. Yeah. I mean, I can see it. Hold on 1 second. I don't know. I just feel like Khamzat Chimaev is a scary prospect to fight, and there's no reason for you. Like, I don't think people want to fight him, to be honest with you. Like, he's going out here and dominating guys. Everybody. I wouldn't fight him. If I was a ranked fighter, I wouldn't fight him. He's unranked. Like, why? What do I gain from beating him?
I didn't know he was unranked.
Yeah, he's unranked. He's trying to fight, but he's calling out guys in the top 5. Chris Weidman, I think, is like, I don't know where Chris Weidman is on the rankings, but still, it's crazy. It's just, I don't know.
Because he was once there and he feels like he can go back and take it. Number pride. So I definitely see where he's coming from. It ain't nothing but pride.
I don't know, man. I feel like he's too dangerous of a fighter. Chris Weidman's washed, and they just need to stop. Chris Weidman also just said he would beat Israel Adesanya. He said he's Anderson Silva without the black belt, and I'm like, you need to chill out.
So you said he's nothing?
Yeah, basically, he's like, I already beat Anderson Silva. I finished him twice.
I mean, yeah,
but that was a long time ago, bud.
Okay, so wait. let's say I ain't gonna say perfect world, but let's say in this world he fights him. Let's say he fights Israel Adesanya and beats Israel Adesanya. What would happen? Do you think he'd just be the GOAT killer?
I don't know what he would be. I don't know. I don't know. Because he's got so many he's got so many losses that it's like,
yeah, it messes his legacy up. But that's like the ones that matter though.
yeah.
I feel like he would have to get a rematch. If he beat Israel Adesanya the first time around, no matter how he beats him, Israel going to get a rematch.
Yeah. True. Jose Aldo versus Marlon Vera has been verbally agreed to for UFC 255 on November 21st. Jose last fought Peter Yan for the title and lost. And Marlon Vera just beat Sugar Sean O'Malley. I think on the same card, to be honest with you. So I'm with it. I'm not mad at it. Let Cheeto get his beat Jose and then see what happens.
I definitely feel it. I was about to ask about Sugar Sean O'Malley, but I don't know. I was gonna say, is he gonna be? Is he for sure coming back and fighting? I haven't heard anything from him.
Sean O'Malley, he'll come back. I don't know. I think he's letting the dust settle. He still says he's undefeated.
He's tripping. You lost. We saw it.
Yeah, he's not only did he lose, he quit. Honestly,
yeah. I was about to say, not only did you know what I'm saying, like I don't care if you got injured or not, you lost.
he didn't even get injured though. That's what fucked it up. Is everyone believed he got injured, and then he posted a video the next day of him dancing.
Yeah, that made it worse for you. Man.
Yeah, you look stupid now. I don't know, man. Jake Hager books his MMA return for October 29th at Bellator 250. The AEW star will face fellow unbeaten prospect, 40-year-old Brandon Colton.
I don't know who that is. I think it was Brandon Vera.
Oh, no. Brandon Colton, he's 2-0. It's Bellator. They feed their guys nobodies. You know who Jake Hager is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure you knew that one.
No, I know Jack Swagger.
Yeah. PFL announces April 23rd kickoff for next season on ESPN platforms. Thank you. Cyborg got her first submission win of her career last week.
Okay. I like Cyborg.
I don't.
I like her.
Now we got UFC 254 is this Saturday. So I'm gonna go over. I'm just gonna pull up some fights here that we've got. Or go over the fights real quick. We got in the early prelims. You'll have Joel Alvarez versus Alexander Yakovlev. You also have Liana Jojua versus Miranda Maverick, and then you've got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Sergey Morozov. In the early prelim main event.
Is he related to Khabib?
Yeah, it's his brother or his cousin. I don't remember. Then we got for the regular prelims, we've got Jung Da-un versus Sam Alvey, Smiling Sam Alvey, at light heavyweight. Then you got Alex Oliveira, which is Cowboy Alex Oliveira versus Shavkat Rachmanov. Then you got Nathaniel Wood versus Casey Kenny in a catchweight fight. And lastly, at the prelim main event is Stefan Struve versus Tai Tuivasa.
Stefan Struve, yuck.
Then we've got light heavyweight bout on this. This is the main card. We got Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba. You got women's flyweight fight, Lauren Murphy versus Lilia Shekarova. You got a middleweight fight between 4-0 Jacob Malkoun versus 8-2 Phil Hawes. A heavyweight fight, Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris. Co-main is Robert Whitaker versus Jared Cannonier. And then finally, the main event is the 155-pound unification title match between what is it? Undisputed champion? Not really undisputed. It's original champion. I don't know what the fuck you would call him. Khabib Nurmagomedov 28-0 versus the interim champion Justin Gaethje 22-2. So some of the big questions heading into this fight or this pay-per-view is, can Justin Gaethje stop Khabib's takedowns? And if he can Khabib survive a kickboxing fight with Gaethje? Will Khabib's father's death play an impact in his performance? Where did Conor McGregor and George St. Pierre fit into this? Is Robert Whittaker going to spoil Israel Adesanya's plan to fight Jared Cannonier? And then finally, will the Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba rematch be more decisive? So the Ankalaev versus Cutelaba fight is the one I sent you on Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember one of them a few weeks ago, where the guy walked all the way up into his face during his name, and they almost got into a fight right before that. And then ended up having the fight, and the ref called it off as they're standing still. Like, I'm still confused by that. I don't understand. I mean, he was doing the rope-a-dope. He was, he was trying to move his head a little bit, and he was looking a little dazed, but he was fighting still. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was, I don't know, whatever. So hopefully that fight happens and it's worth all the pressure. Originally it was supposed to have Islam Makhachev and fucking Rafael dos Anjos on there, but RDA caught COVID, and since then Makhachev has been campaigning for a fight, calling out all kinds of guys. He's called out Dan Hooker, who he called bullshit guy. He called out Michael Chandler. He called out, I want to say he called out Michael Chiesa too. He's just calling out all kinds of motherfuckers. And Ali Abdelaziz, his manager, is calling someone out as well. He called out Tony Ferguson. He told him, if you show up to fight Islam, I respect you so much that I'll pay you $100,000 out of my pocket, on top of what you're making from the UFC. And also, if you beat him, I'll give you another $100,000. Tony Ferguson said, Where is Fathead's $200,000 and 20 push-ups he owes me? I'm talking about Khabib. I don't know. I hate it. But Michael Chandler has said he's not interested in fighting Islam Makhachev at UFC 254. Michael Chandler is the backup fighter for Khabib Gaethje in case one of them can't compete. I don't know, man. I don't see, at this point, I don't see them having someone pull out. But I could be wrong. Stranger things have happened.
There's a lot of strange things.
Yeah. Tony Ferguson fucking tore his ACL the day before a fight, so crazy shit can happen.
Wow.
But there's one guy who's willing to step up and fight. He fought last weekend. Guram Kutateladze, ready to step in at UFC 254 to fight Islam Makhachev. So hopefully Islam can get a fight. Islam's a good fighter, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if he doesn't get a fight for this weekend, he'll get a fight soon. Probably have to wait till next year, though, when they go back to Fight Island. But Justin Gaethje says, if one man can hold me down, two can rape me. So I'll be damned if Khabib can hold me down.
Two can what?
Rape me. If one man can hold me down, then two men can rape me.
Wow. That's wild.
It was a crazy quote. And I was like, I got to put that in there. He also says, I create damage. If I barely miss and I barely clip you, it's damage. Damage is done. In a 25-minute fight, I will create damage one way or another. A thing about Tony is Tony loves that. One thing I'm sure about Khabib is he does not love that. I'm here to ruin Ali's day. I'm here to ruin Dana White's day. I'm here to ruin Daniel Cormier's day. I'm here to ruin Javier Mendez's day. I'm here to ruin Khabib Nurmagomedov's day. Fuck all those guys. Justin Gaethje has landed over 100 significant strikes in all 4 of his UFC fights that have gone out of the first round. He landed 143 against Ferguson, 115 versus Poirier, 122 versus Alvarez, and 104 versus Johnson. Ben Askren says the Justin we saw versus Ferguson was much better than any version he showed before. Therefore, I think it's a waste of time using any of his previous fights to Tony to decide how he will do against Khabib. Khabib has said it was a hard training camp mentally and physically, but no one can stop time. Only patient and hard work will help him. Then a coach issues warning to Justin Gaethje at UFC 254. Khabib's coach did. He's taking on the master of the ground. And Khabib says he wants to fight Georges St. Pierre after his UFC 254 bout with Justin Gaethje. So who do you got here? Let's just be real. Who do we got?
For the Gaethje match or the GSP match?
Gaethje versus Khabib.
I reckon Khabib won.
I do too. But I think Gaethje has a good chance. I'm rooting for Gaethje because if Gaethje wins, then he'll fight Conor. And then Conor will beat Gaethje. I know for a fact Conor will beat Gaethje.
You just want to see Conor get the easy way back into the title picture.
Because if Khabib wins, I don't know if Conor ever gets a title shot again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't know. But I'm with it. I'm with it. It is what it is. And then what about we'll do the top 3 fights on this card, and then we'll do the prelim main event too. Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier. Who do you got there?
Cannonier.
Same. And then Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris.
I got Volkov winning that one.
I got Walt Harris. And then lastly, Stefan Struve versus Tai Tuivasa.
Tuivasa.
Probably.
I think Stefan Struve is ass. That's just me. I think
he beat Stipe.
Yeah, that nigga's still ass. Yeah, I don't care who he beat. He's ass to me. I don't know what it is, but I think he's
ass. But speaking of ass, does your ass hurt? Are you sick of sitting on chairs from your kitchen table when you're trying to game, work from home, or just hang out? Me too. That's why I went to TriumphChairs.com and scooped me one of their luxurious, comfortable gaming chairs. And right now, you can get 10% off one of these Cadillac chairs by using the promo code T13 at checkout. That is TriumphChairs.com. And that promo code was the letter T, the number 1, and the word 3 spelled out at checkout. Just tell them Travis sent you. All right, Kenny. Bret Hart has listed the pro wrestlers that are his current favorites.
Okay.
He said AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
Not a bad list.
Not a bad list. We know your GOAT is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, though, has said his GOAT of WBE. Who do you think he said?
He probably said Triple H.
Nope, he said John Cena.
Oh, I can see it because he pretty much brought him in.
Yeah.
That was that was the first big rivalry John Cena had was against Kurt Angle. And it was a random one too. We didn't know who that man was coming out there talking about ruthless aggression.
Right. Kurt Angle also picked his AEW dream opponent. He said Rusev, now known as Miro, is who he would want to wrestle on the AEW roster. Speaking of,
is he going to AEW?
That was the next thing. Was it's been rumored that AEW's heavily trying to get him contracted to them for matches. Would you want to see that?
No,
me either.
The reason why, and I love Kurt Angle, and like I said, I didn't really respect how great Kurt Angle was until he went to TNA. I understand that's wild, but
yeah, I get you. No, I get it.
But I just personally feel like he needs to stop. Like literally, when I saw his last match against Baron Corbin,
and you look like Frankenstein.
He was so stiff. He was just, it was just like, the moonsault was clean though. The moonsault still looked good, but
My
He
thing
was
is,
so
we
good.
already saw it we saw Ric Flair say he was done and have his big moment with WWE and retire on the grand stage,
And then
and
ruined
then
it by
went to
going to
TNA.
TNA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we saw Mick Foley do the same thing. I don't need to see Kurt Angle do it.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of expected. Nobody really retires, like they say.
Yeah, but I
It's
don't know.
just,
I
it's
just
just
don't
that
want
it's
it.
just that kind of thing. We're just seeing the people we grew up with talking about, oh, I'm done, and then they come back and wrestle again. Has Triple H officially retired?
No,
That's like one thing. Okay, so he gets a pass then. But
Triple H
like,
will never retire. I don't think. I think he'll just stop wrestling one day.
I think you think he'll just keep doing one offs.
Well, I'm saying I don't think we'll ever get the I'm retired. I
No,
think
no,
he'll
that's what I'm saying.
he'll
Like,
just
you think he'll just keep doing one offs? Like he'll just be.
I don't know if he'll keep wrestling. I just think that he's never going to say he's retired. I feel like
Um,
where it's going to be like 10 years. We're going to be like, damn, he never wrestled again.
I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be he's gonna keep wrestling. It's not gonna be consistent, but it's gonna be
Once
Triple
or
H. Like, I've
twice
had enough.
or
I'll have
once every 2 years or whatever. Okay.
yeah. He'll probably wrestle once every 2 years. He'll probably talk his shit, get his ass beat, put somebody else over. But that way we still get the pop of seeing Triple H talking about, oh, I'm back, and then we get that grand entrance like WrestleMania or some shit. He'll lose something because doesn't he have the most WrestleMania L's?
Triple H, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
He
And
always putting people over, but people say he buries people.
I
So
was gonna say that. I was just about to say people say he buries people all the time, but he's always taking the L's on WrestleMania. Because I think it was him and Big Show. They've got the most like L's, if I remember correctly. If anything, Undertaker buries people because he gave the WrestleMania and lose.
yeah. Sorry.
No, you good.
So Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart. Is that going to be the great? Would that be the greatest match ever? They wrestled prime on prime.
No, I say it like this. I know you have a hate towards Bret Hart,
I don't have a hate. I just unbiased.
but
I objectively look at him.
the thing is, I don't consider Bret Hart the GOAT and like that. I just think you need to give him a little more respect. That's the thing with me. But I personally feel like if there was going to be a dream match, it wouldn't be Kurt Angle and Bret Hart. I think people aren't doing it because they got the same. They both wear.
Singlets.
Yeah, both wear singlets. As long as it as like they, I guess it's like close between them. They both
They're
wrestle
both
nothing.
technical wrestlers.
Yeah, but Kurt Angle has like a nice little mixture. Bret
Not
Hart is
really.
just Bret Hart is just technical. And
Yeah,
then
but Kurt Angle doesn't really do much either. Like
Kurt Angle can do it, bro.
he can, but if we looked at his career overall and put in the average of what his stuff is, he's 90% technical wrestling.
He is, I mean, that's the thing though. That's the gimmick because he's a wrestler.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah, he uses actual wrestling, but he can do the brawling. Like when he throws the punch, that punch look like it hurt. Like he does the punch, like he does the nice little brawling. He can do the high flying. Obviously, he's done the high flying quite a few times. I'm not just talking about the 450 knee drop he did, but like he's done different things like that. And then there's been times where he's been the powerhouse. He can do it all. Like he that's why I consider him the GOAT, because he can, like how Charlotte Flair is my GOAT, Kurt Angle will be the GOAT too, because they both can mix all the different stuff. And then he can do the show off, he can do the submission based style. Like he can do it all.
I'm with it.
I think and then when he was dirty, he wasn't bad at being dirty either. I think he can legit do it all. But that's just me. I just don't, if I had a dream match, I wouldn't put it against Bret Hart.
Who would you put a dream match for?
For Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle, yeah. Just curious.
It'll probably be like, if we're going prime on prime, it'll probably be someone like Daniel Bryan. It wouldn't be.
I thought that was coming up. I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a Daniel Bryan. It'll be like a who else? Who else would be a good matchup? Seth Rollins wouldn't even be a bad matchup either. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad one either. And
True.
then who else? Because it's hard to do that with him because Kurt Angle's wrestling lifespan is forever long. That's why it's hard. I'm trying to pick people that he didn't wrestle against. or if he did, he was too old to really give us the dream match like what we wanted. Because he wrestled like he was in the area with The Rock, Stone Cold. So I can't say these people because he wrestled them all. But it's like even then because he was in the ruthless aggression era too. He was going up against the John Cena's, the Brock Lesnar's, the Undertaker. So it's hard to just do that
Yeah.
when
the Eddie Guerreros.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a good match too. Eddie Guerrero took this untied his shoelace.
Yep.
And then we put him in the ankle lock. That's what I thought of. I was thinking Eddie Guerrero. I was like, nah, he had a great match with him too. But yeah, Kurt Angle was cold, man. That's just what it is.
And he's faced a lot of these newer guys when they were in TNA.
Yep, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just hard. It's hard to pick that.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's probably the number one.
Yeah, like I said, it would have to be like Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, or like
Roman. I'd like to see him versus Roman.
I was thinking about that, but I was like, I don't know. I personally wouldn't think that would be a good matchup.
It'd be a good feud.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I put that. Yep. I feel that'd be better.
So Big E is set for a big push. But the first thing is they're trying to get him out of comedic mode.
Thank you. That's what I said. We talked about this before. I don't know if it was on air, but we talked about this. Let him get a heel run. Let him get a good little heel run. Just have him be like, saying they just have him think he's like the jokey joke guy. And he's like, look, I'm more than that. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm by myself, respect my, respect my legacy. Well, I ain't say legacy because he's really, but just respect me as a wrestler. They don't. And he has enough. He just starts fucking people up. And they would just see this different week, like every week he's fucking somebody new up. And then we get that match where he gets the match where he can prove himself and he beats whoever it is at the pay-per-view, probably like a bigger name wrestler. Not big name, but a bigger name.
Yeah.
And then once he takes them out, it was just like he gets respect and he just keeps on dominating and give him that world title.
That's what they needed to do. NBA referee involved in betting scandals signed by MLW. So Tim Donaghy will be a personal referee for Richard Holiday going forward. Do you know who that is?
For who?
Richard Holiday. I don't know who that is, but do you know Tim Donaghy?
I don't know who either one of them is. I know the name Tim Donaghy sounds familiar. If I probably
he spent 15 months in prison for a betting scandal for the NBA.
Sheesh, that's a messed up way to go to prison for betting.
Right. So Vince McMahon may be changing the name of another WWE star. He has Dominic Mysterio may go by Dominic, now adding a C before the K. Now and no last name after Vince filed for the trademark of the new name. So they're going to drop the Mysterio and spell Dominic differently.
So he's just going to be named Dominic?
Yep.
I feel it, but I don't know. I think just drop the Mysterio part. Why change the spelling of the man's name? That's weird to me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm thinking it might be.
Go ahead.
It might be to play back because right now he spells his name Dominik, and I just looked it up. They spelled it when he was a kid in Eddie versus Ray for custody of Dominic. They spelled it Dominik, which is how they're spelling it now. So maybe they're just trying to make continuity better.
I feel that, but I personally just feel like if you're gonna have if you're gonna take the Mysterio off, maybe you don't have to do that. I was gonna say pretty much make him try to be his own man, but they pretty much already did that.
You know what they should do? This is what they should do. They should have him turn on his dad, whoop his dad's ass, and start going by Dominic Guerrero.
That would be wild. I don't know.
Eddie was my real dad.
That would be wild. You said saying you had them beef?
Yeah, have the dad and have Dominic versus Ray.
I don't know. I feel it. It's not a bad storyline.
He should beat Ray and he should retire Ray and take his mask off in front of everybody.
Oh wow!
Like
you want him to go evil?
Yeah, no, I want him to be like I want Ray to put him over like he's never been put over before. Like I want him to just be He can come out with the fucking the frosted tips like Eddie used to have.
I like the
wrestle in Eddie Guerrero.
That was my favorite Eddie Guerrero's.
Mine too.
But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about him just going out there being evil. I feel like him being good works because he's a smaller wrestler. And I feel like with him being bigger than Rey Mysterio, I think that would be the only thing about that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to wrestle in like a high flying style. He can just mollywop him.
Oh, no. I definitely feel you on that. But I don't know. I feel like what they got going with him works because, like I said, it's just an underdog thing. I think
let him be the heel. Let him be the heel. Dominic Guerrero. Have Chavo come back and be his manager.
Where's Chavo at now?
I don't know. Fucking doing stupid shit with Alberto Del Rio, probably. Well, Alberto Del Rio is about to go to prison, so.
Alberto Del Rio.
Out here fucking up.
He should have been in the GOAT conversation, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Alberto Del Rio.
Shut the fuck up.
Alberto Del Rio, if he did his career right, he would have been the GOAT conversation.
You're fucking fried.
Alberto Del Rio was a great wrestler, too.
He's in Nacion Lucha Libre. Oh, nope, it closed down. Okay, let's go back up and figure out what the fuck he's doing.
Alberto Del Rio was cold, bro. I like this gimmick. He was just a Mexican JBL.
He's not doing anything. Chavo's doing literally nothing. Nothing. Bring him back. Oh, wait, independent circuit is what he's doing.
Yeah, bring him back.
Right? Like,
Chavo needs a decent title run, man.
No, he doesn't.
He's put in so many years for WWE. They could have did something with him, man.
I agree, but it's too late now. We're too far gone. We're not giving him a title run now.
And turn him into a white man. Come on. They can do.
It's too late.
Let him get it. Let him get a world title.
Chavo coming back and if he wasn't going to come back as Dominic's manager for this angle, I'd like to see him come back and go to NXT. Work with the young guys.
There you go.
I might be on board for him to get an NXT title. Yeah.
Let him be NXT champion. Let him. That man put in too many years for y'all to expect that man like that. You turn him into a white man. I will never forget that. Curran White
with Nick Nemeth as his
Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Well, no, yeah, it was Dolph Ziggler.
It was Dolph Ziggler, but I think he was going by Nick.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad. Spirit Squad.
That was before Spirit Squad.
No. I'm saying before that, because he was there and he was the Spirit Squad and he randomly came back as Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Bleached hair.
And I didn't even recognize him for a long time.
I did. I was like, that's dude from Spirit Squad. Like it was like literally like I was like, you guys aren't slick with these people. That's how I was, at least. You were like, oh, who's that guy? I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, Nick. Like, I was just like, oh, there's Nick.
It's Nikki.
Yeah. That's the one was I really remember for anyway. I just remember Kenny Dykstra and then Nikki, and then there was Mike.
Yeah, Mike Mondo.
Yeah, and then like I said, there was two other guys.
Yeah, I don't remember the other ones. I'm about to look them up though. I'm on the thing already. Oh, it literally says the only members are Kenny and Mikey because they're still wrestling on the independent circuit as the Spirit Squad. So we had Kenny, Johnny, Mitch, Nikki, and Mikey.
There you go, Mitch.
Johnny
Nikki.
Jeter and Nick Mitchell.
Okay.
Oh, Nick Mitchell is an American mixed martial artist and retired professional wrestler. Fuck is he doing in mixed martial arts? He's 0-1.
I like Kenny.
He's only fought one professional fight, and guess who it was against?
Who?
Derek Lewis. He got TKO'd in round 2.
His ass beat. Yeah. Well, I remember my uncle told me the greatest wrestler of all time was Kenny Dykstra.
Why he say that?
No, he was joking, but it was just funny. He just readily was like, hey, he's like, you know what the greatest wrestler is? He's like, Kenny Dykstra. I was like, get out of here.
I was like, stop it.
Yeah, he was playing.
But TNA Bound for Glory is going to be happening this Saturday, in time for your birthday. So go through this.
On my birthday, man.
I want
to do something for my birthday. That's why I'm kind of salty. All these different events are going on, but I want to do something.
Yeah, you can watch TNA Impact and UFC. UFC is going to be, you're not going to be able to watch UFC. It's happening during your podcast.
Yeah, I know. They've like everything
It's
goes
in
on
the middle of the day.
That like I try to watch the URL, like the Ultimate
Yeah.
Battle Royale. That goes on now. It used to go on at night, and I used to be able to watch it. Like I would watch that while I'm watching UFC. Like I would listen and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like, nope, can't do it.
Everything's happening in the daytime now.
Yeah, while I'm shooting my podcast, I'm just like, okay, well,
So we've got the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match where the winner could choose any championship match of their choice.
I like that.
If Heath or Rhino wins, then Heath also wins a full-time contract with Impact Wrestling. So we've got AC Romero versus Brian Myers versus Havoc versus Heath versus Hernandez versus Larry D versus Rhino versus Taya Valkyrie versus Tennille Dashwood versus Tommy Dreamer. This is nasty. You're telling me we've got fucking Ace Romero, Kurt Hawkins,
Nasty in a good way or bad way?
in a bad way. Havoc, Jessica Havoc, Heath Slater, Hernandez, like LAX Hernandez.
No, I remember Hernandez was my boy.
Larry
I used to use
D.
him on
I don't know who
the
that
TNA
is.
Impact game.
Rhino, Taya Valkyrie, fucking Emma from WWE, Emma, Tommy Dreamer, and then someone else. There's still one more person. Why is Emma and Tommy Dreamer fighting each other? What is TNA doing? This is why it's not canon.
TNA is trying to do that was definitely canon.
No,
Shoot, Black Snow was definitely canon. I think they're trying to do this equal opportunity thing over there where females can win the X Division champion and World Heavyweight Challenge. It's like they got a lot going on over there.
Well, they need to stop.
And I mean, it works when you got people like Jordan Grace.
No.
You know that is?
I do.
Okay, when you got people like her, it works. And with Taya Valkyrie, it works. And Tessa Blanchard, it works. I think it's the only three it works with. And if I can't say her name for a second. Awesome Kong was there, it would have worked.
I don't know, man. Y'all are wild.
No, I'm just saying because of the way their gimmicks work, like with Jordan Grace being this like super powered female, then you got Taya Valkyrie who literally cheats in every way she defended her title. If you go back and watch it, she cheats almost every way.
Yeah.
Who else am I thinking? Tessa Blanchard she's just that kind of like Becky Lynch. She's kind of like that. And then Awesome Kong was another powerhouse. So like it works for them. So that's why it works for them to get any title over there. Like I said, especially with the equal opportunity thing they got going. It's not just the knockouts championship they're doing over there. So like I just think it works. So that's why they got this big match with all these people in there like Tommy Dreamer. You got hardcore people like Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. And then you got people like Emma and Taya Valkyrie in there too. So it just works. But I don't know about that big match though. That's gonna be weird. And what title is that for?
It's the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So whoever wins can pick any title they want to go for. Next up, we got Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock with Sami Callihan in Ken Shamrock's corner. What?
You just hate TNA. That's all that is. You just like, oh, I don't like anything.
No, why are you having Ken Shamrock fight him when you could have Sami Callihan fight him? Like, why is Sami Callihan in the fucking? I don't know, man. Like, I'm just
because that's the gimmick. Sami Callihan is just an asshole, man.
I hate it here. EC3 versus Moose.
I don't understand the big hype about this Moose guy. That nigga's ass.
He's not that great.
He dresses funny. Then he looks nasty. I don't like anything about Moose. And his name is nasty. Everything about him is nasty. but I love EC3. I do like EC3. No, I was thinking Eddie Edwards for like half a second. I like Eddie Edwards, but I like EC3
too. Next up, we got Rohit Raju versus Chris Bay.
I don't know either one of them.
Versus Jordan Grace versus TJP versus Trey versus Willie Mack.
I like Willie Mack too.
I do too. That's a 6-way intergender scramble match for the Impact X Division Championship.
Is Jordan Grace is champion, right?
I don't know who's Rohit Raju is.
Oh, okay. I remember she was champion, but yeah, I'm cheering for Jordan Grace that match. I want her to win it.
I'm going for Willie Mack.
I wouldn't be mad if he won it or TJP. I like TJP.
Yeah, I don't like TJP.
You don't? What?
No, he's just corny.
I mess with him. He get that dab and everything.
I like Chris Bay or B. I don't know. It's BEY. Chris B.
I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's a skinny little black guy. He's hilarious. I like him.
Yeah, I gotta watch him because I never heard of
him. So next up we got the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Good Brothers versus the North versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton.
Ooh.
4-way tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Agreed. That is a match.
Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know if I told you this. That's the greatest tag team of all time.
You've said it a time or two.
Well, you're gonna hear it again. That's the greatest tag team of all time
to me. Next up is Deonna Purrazzo defending her Knockouts Championship against Kylie Rae.
Oh my God! Okay. Please, Kylie Rae is that's a dumb ass gimmick. It's so dumb.
It's the Bailey gimmick.
It's Bailey, but do you see her now though? Like she's like angry now.
No, that's got to be great. Hold on.
I've seen pictures and stuff, and I was like, "This looks goofy." It doesn't come off as good. It looks really cheesy. And she's just the whole time like she's putting one girl in a submission. She's just like it looked nasty. Like it looks so nasty.
I'm trying to look her up, doesn't it? It's all smiley Kylie.
Second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be frozen for a second. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. Big Swole. That's a hell of a gimmick. Yeah, I can't find it. So send it to me. But while you're doing that, let's get into the main event. Eric Young versus Rich Swann for the Impact World Championship.
That's nasty.
That's a disgusting main event. Like
that's nasty.
Like I hate it.
I'm sick of this. My phone's loading up slow. I got this. Oh, I forgot it's Impact Wrestling. I can't look up. I was looking up TNA. That's why.
Yeah, you're gonna get a whole different search results, huh?
Yeah, I was. It's gonna be something totally different. Wait a second. I'm trying to get the picture. I keep finding videos. There we go. Photo. I must have been frozen for a while there, but yeah, it's sent.
Oh, that's nasty.
And she was doing that the entire time. That face.
I like it.
I don't. So I'm like, I'm good.
Call her Grimace Kylie the Menace.
Yeah, I don't like it. And then it's funny because you said Rich Swann and Eric Young. That is a disgusting one. And I like Rich Swann. I love Rich Swann.
He beats women. I don't like him.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Or if I did know that.
I feel like we've had that conversation before.
If we did, I forgot. Yeah. But I liked him as a wrestler. I liked him in CZW. That's where I know him from. CZW.
I feel you.
But yeah, if he's beating women, yeah, fuck him. But if he didn't, still good.
That's why he got released from WWE. It's because he beat his wife.
And I realized I was watching this. He had like a retire, like he was like retiring or something like that on TNA. I saw that little clip. He was retiring, and I never heard him talk before. Like,
I don't think I have either.
is no,
Oh, not a good voice.
no. He sounds like, I don't want to say, I'm trying not to say a white guy, but he sounds like your typical baby. I don't understand. It was just very generic. That's the word I'm looking for. Generic. He sounded so generic. Every week I come down here and I've given
Sounds like
my
Bret Hart.
all.
That's a Bret Hart promo.
It was like, I don't know, he was injured and whatever, and he was like, retired. I give it my all for the fans. And then there
It's
wasn't a
literally a
crowd.
Bret Hart promo.
Yeah, it was just, I give it my all and I have to retire now.
Is it?
My leg is done after what you did to me last week. It wasn't like it didn't sound like there was no emotions in it either. So the way I'm talking is how he sounded. It's not
Yeah.
after what you did to me last week. Well, it's just after what you did to me last week, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Listen, hold
My
on.
leg
Hold
is
on.
done now. I
Hold
have
on.
to retire, folks.
Hold on. Shawn Michaels, after what you did to me last week, my leg is done now. I have to retire. I've always been a safe worker in this ring. I've never injured a wrestler before in my life. But your friend Triple H is a 4 out of 10 wrestler.
Bret Hart
And
didn't
I'm
do
the best of all time. Because I can't talk at all. But
Nah,
I've
we ain't
got to
going to Bret
retire
Hart.
now, and it's all Goldberg's fault because he kicked me in the head.
We're not going to do that to Bret Hart. Bret Hart.
That's what he sounds like.
No, he does not. Rich Swann though sounds like that. When you got, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show it to you when we shoot that what you call it.
We try it.
We try it later on.
See, that's how many that they asked me to do plugs last night when I was on Debatable for all the shows I'm on. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do like 12 plugs now. This is bullshit.
No, that's how Mike was looking at me. Like Mike was like, "Oh, you don't know?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm doing a lot of shows now. Like I'm doing a lot."
Right,
And I
leave
got
us
one.
alone. God damn it.
I
We're
got
the
literally one
workhorses.
for.
We are the workhorses of T13 Media.
As I'm saying, we literally got so many shows. I got one. I got at least one show for every day of the week now.
Same.
I got at least one show for every day of the week. I got a gaming show I'm trying to do. We got the teeing off with me and you. We try it so you don't have to. Food Truck Friday. I got Bad Guys Spoken. Then I'm on I was about to say Just Beat It.
Just beat it.
And I was thinking Debatable and Book It. I was like, Just Beat It. Book It. I will call off on certain days for Debatable, depending on what the topic is.
Yeah.
I'll call off for certain ones. Yeah, and then I'm trying to make another show for a castmate on the Bad Guy Spoken. I'm gonna talk to you about that later, but I have a plan
Okay.
for what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody to eat out here. I'm trying to get T13 to be the greatest thing ever.
That's what we're trying to do. Move on. We're not trying to talk about Bound for Glory anymore. So possible WrestleMania 37 main event. There's 3 rumors out right now.
Okay.
You tell me which one's the best. So the first one's the biggest rumor, the one that everybody's talking about. The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
I don't want it.
Really?
I don't want it.
Okay. Any reason why?
I don't want to see The Rock wrestle again. Maybe that might be just me, but I don't. But
I want to see him have 2 matches. I want to see him wrestle with Roman Reigns, and I want him and Triple H to wrestle each other and retire both of each other.
That would be nice. That would be the only way I want to see it. If it was The Rock and Triple H, or somehow The Rock and Stone Cold one more time. I know Stone Cold's never gonna wrestle again.
Yeah,
but I would love to see Stone Cold come back one more time and just
one more again, Stone Cold, one more again,
just one more time, man, and let The Rock win. Just let The Rock win this one and just retire it. Just to retire both of them. Then they both, hug it out. They just had their each other's hands. That'll be cold, bro. And then, I mean, not just a match. I mean, I want them to go all out. I want to go through announcer's tables. I want chair shots. I want somebody to pull some thumbtacks for no reason. I want this match to be crazy. I want Triple H as special guest referee. I want this match to be lit. I want this match to be crazy.
I'm with you. I don't want it. I don't want that. But I'm with what
He
you're
said,
saying.
"Oh,
I see what you're saying. Uh,
they need to go all out."
Triple H. The only reason I went with Triple H instead of Stone Cold is because, well, one, Triple H is my favorite, but
Yeah,
Stone Cold or Triple H and The Rock have literally mirrored each other. They came in with the goofy gimmicks at the same time. They reverted to more realistic gimmicks at the same time. They joined factions at the same time. They took over those factions at the same time. They were in the mid-card scene at the same time. They rose to main event level at the same time. They rose to bigger than the business at the same time.
yeah,
Like, they've literally been paralleled the entire time. Like, it's just like, The Rock goes here, Triple H goes here, Triple H goes here, The Rock goes here. Like, it's like,
yeah,
and
yeah. I
like,
mean, yeah. No,
I
I would
want them to
definitely, I
just
would
finish
definitely
it.
love to see that. Even though it's like we get to Rock and Triple H wrestling again, but it's like that's gonna be lit though. People
And
will
Rock
come
would
back.
win. Let's be real. Rock would win that match.
Yeah, we would love to see that.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
So
I would say they would make Triple H win it.
I don't think so.
I can see Triple H hitting him with the pedigree and then pinning him, and then Rock getting up like you did good. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah,
out.
I could
I can
see
see
it,
that.
but I don't know. If Triple H was going to continue wrestling, probably. But that's the other thing is I feel like if Triple H does have that retirement match, it's going to be against somebody from the next generation. Honestly, it'll
Yeah,
probably be
sure.
Adam Cole.
To put them over, yeah,
Yeah, because that's Triple H is so like into the history of wrestling and
yeah.
like the honor and all that. But for it, like it's just not going out like that. But I can dream. So The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Next is the most realistic of the three options. Randy Orton versus Edge for the WWE title.
Okay.
And then lastly, is my opinion, is the least realistic. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
That's the WrestleMania main event.
Yep. You gotta think Becky versus Ronda versus Charlotte already main evented.
No. I know that. That was when they talked the woman over at first, but now it's like over with. So I think they're not going. I don't think they're going to have another female main event.
Because from what the rumor is that Vince McMahon is constantly talking to Becky Lynch about how's your pregnancy going? How's this like? You know what I mean? As soon as the baby's out, are you going to be in training or like what's the motive? You know what I mean? Like
No. I definitely can see that because they try to make Becky Lynch. They're trying to make her the Conor McGregor that they can control.
First of all, they did not make her anything. Becky Lynch made Becky Lynch.
No, I understand that. She took that punch to the face and she put it over by standing there, bloody face, and her arm looking contorted as it was, and made it work.
That is one of the most iconic pictures ever, though.
No, it is.
I would buy a painting of that.
Like that. Yeah, I was say it was lit for real. That was I ain't gonna stunt. There was Becky Lynch has given me chills on 3 different occasions.
Okay,
and that was one of them.
What are the other 2? I just curious.
When she cut a promo against I don't know she was going off on Oscar, and she was like, what did she say? You may have broken my arm, but you can't break my spirit. And she's like going in like that, and I was like, and I got the chills. And she was just going in, and like she was like really in the character, and I was like, and I got the chills. Like it was like that. It was like watching that, and then watching the actual match. I forget what pay-per-view it was, but they were fighting for the title.
Yeah,
because she had already lost it to. I think she had lost it to Oscar before. Like she got cheated out. No, she got cheated out of it because she got hit with the poison mist. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then she was like, that's when she got the pay-per-view. Like, you may have broken my spirit, but you cannot break. No, or not spirit.
Broke my arm, and you can't break my spirit.
Yeah, she's just going in, and I'm just like, like when they brought it back and they showed like the little replay, and she's yelling that, and then she's getting put in the arm bar and stuff like that. I was like, I'm ready for this match, and like I got the little cold chill then, and then I got the chill again at the Royal Rumble when
she came out injured.
Yeah, she was talking to Finley, and Finley's like, "No, you can't go." No, she's telling Finley like,
"Let me in, put me in, coach."
And Finley's like, "Nah, I can't do it." She's like, "No, put me in there." Crowd's going crazy. She's like, "No, I want to get it." And then the beat starts playing. She's walking down. I'm like, "Let's go!"
I ain't gonna lie.
That's why Becky Lynch fan.
Becky Lynch, that run from like when she turned on Charlotte until about halfway through Becky 2 belts
Was a great run.
She was probably my favorite wrestler. Like out of all the wrestlers current, she was my favorite. I was like,
I'm not gonna
everything she
lie.
did, I was like, that bitch is fucking dope.
Around that time, I will say this: that was the time where I preferred to watch the women
Yeah.
over the men because Charlotte's my goat
Yep.
for the females. Alexa Bliss was putting on great matches.
Alexa Bliss is up there. She's top 5.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
time.
yeah. She's definitely up there. She was putting on great matches. I'm not really a fan of Bailey. Bailey was doing her thing. I ain't gonna sit there and play her like that. Bailey was doing her thing.
Bailey and Sasha are like really, really good, but they're also just very bland because they've done the same thing for so long.
Yeah, I was about to say something about them was like, but that's exactly what it is. I'm kind of bored with them. But it was like they were still doing their thing. So you got them. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of the Iconics. I was a big fan of the Iconics.
I wasn't.
So I messed with them. And then we had Toni Storm was doing her thing, and we had Rhea Ripley doing her thing. So at that time, I loved the women's division. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. I was like, I couldn't wait to see their matches. And then you had what's her name too? What's the ugly chick's name? Shayna Baszler. I'm sorry, she's so smack to me. But she was putting on some good matches though. She's probably like the only person. No, I take that back. Ronda Rousey wasn't bad as a wrestler. I'm not gonna play her. She did really good as a wrestler. She wasn't no goat, but she definitely sold some moves. That was like, I was like, ooh, that was like it hurt for real. Like, I was like, oh
yeah.
Because I remember when she got kicked out the ring one time, her body did some weird thing. You remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that the way her body looked, I was like, oh, you sold that perfectly.
I don't know. I think that because here's the thing, Vince is imagining that in Vince's mind, according to the rumors, he believes WrestleMania 37 will have fans.
We need the fans, but I agree. It's about that time now. It's about that time now. Like you can only be so quarantined at this point. Like I don't say so quarantined, but it's like I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you. I need the fans. I don't know if I'm gonna say that we should do it now, but I'm want the fans to come back. But imagine that the fans come out, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The fans are there, the first show with fans, and you have the return of Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch on the same night.
That's what I'm saying. I must be like certain things. It doesn't work without the fans. Like,
that's what Vince said. Vince said if there's no fans in February, there's no reason to bring either one of them back.
No, that's what I'm saying, and I feel him because there's certain things that WWE does, especially when it comes to Royal Rumbles. That's supposed to be the biggest moment, and it doesn't work when you got all these people behind the screens. You have to have. Oh my gosh, you're the music. You think you know me? Like when Edge came back, that wouldn't have worked with them TV screens.
No.
That you had to have the fans there. You know that crowd was lit.
That about made me cry when Edge came back. I was like, oh.
No, I got chills for sure. Yeah. I got chills for sure for that. And I didn't even watch it live. I knew he was coming out, and I still got chills. Because I had heard about it, and I was like, let me go ahead and watch it. And I watched, and I was like, dang, like it was still lit for real.
So something else with WrestleMania 37, if fans can attend, WWE is heavily interested and will go all out to have John Cena and The Undertaker both return for matches.
And then you lost me. And then you lost me just that fast.
John Cena, I'm cool with.
Yeah, I mean,
Undertaker, I'm not.
Undertaker, no. And then
the only way I'll give Undertaker a match is if he comes out and does a cinematic match with Sting, and we're done.
I don't even want that. They're too old. It's to the point now. They're too old.
Cinematic match, though? That's why I said cinematic, because then they can still do their...
Okay, well... Nah,
it's just acting at that point. They're just acting. Let them act.
I don't even want that.
They don't even got to wrestle.
I didn't like when Bray Wyatt did that shit with John Cena. I didn't like that.
You're trash.
I didn't like that. And I love Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt
of all time.
I didn't like that shit at all. You like that?
Yes, it was one of the greatest matches of ever.
That wasn't even a match.
Yes, it was. There was a pinfall.
I didn't like that at all. Imagine a world where you were at NWO. He just comes out. What about this? It's just that shit was long.
You had the Vince McMahon puppet, and he's like, "That's good shit."
Yeah,
I loved it.
I'm good on that. I was that thing. Like I said, when I say hit or miss with Bray Wyatt, that's one of the misses. It's
You're so wrong. All the people in the comment section, tell him how wrong he fucking is.
I don't like that. Let me get a match. Why do we have to do all this?
Because that's his character. Is his thing.
I know, but still, sometimes it's like I want to see just him wrestle. I like the fact with him wrestling, him getting put in certain moves, he's laughing when he shouldn't be. That's cool. That's perfect for your gimmick. When you come out there and you're sending me to these, you sending me to the shadow realm like it's Yu-Gi-Oh and shit like that. I don't like this. Just let me see a match. Let your gimmick work like that. Like Undertaker, when he just pops up, so he pops up even though he's been getting whooped on, or he disappears. That's cool. That works. But we still get a match. Like that shit.
Right.
That wasn't a match. He just came out in different outfits and he was just naming different scenarios like we're doing on this show right now. And then all of a sudden, so just imagine that we're watching this, and all of a sudden I just pin you like that. Like think of how silly that looks.
Well, first off, it'd be silly because there ain't no damn way you gonna pin me. I'll spear your ass.
Super kick so fast.
I will spear you again the second time, motherfucker.
You get hit with the Sweet Chin music. So fast.
So Vince McMahon is not interested in pushing Andrade.
He says he's not interested?
Not interested. He doesn't see any appeal in him.
I don't either.
You don't?
No. Besides that he's the nigga that does that little spider shit, right? When they wrap onto the ropes. Like he does, whatever that shit is.
Like what Victoria or like Tajiri used to do?
A little bit different. Like when he gets thrown over there, he just I don't even know how to explain. I can't even do it on camera, but it's like he's just like half his body goes horizontal. He like catches himself on the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. The Tyler Breeze thing.
No, I'm talking about something totally different. Not them being cool like Shawn Michaels used to do back in the day. I'm talking about him getting thrown over like he should be getting he gets Irish whipped and he literally jumps and his body is horizontal and he does this weird thing with his body, contorts, and he catches the ropes with his arms and legs at the same time. I'm talking about
he might do that. I don't know who that is. That might be him.
I could have sworn that was him.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I don't know.
Well, yeah, fuck him, if that's the case. The only reason they're gonna push him if they did is because he's the one that's dating what's her name, right? Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely the nigga then. Yeah. Fuck him.
Okay then. Fuck him. I like him. We booked him on Book It to beat John Cena for a world title. So
yeah, y'all tripping.
Yeah,
if I was there that episode, I would have told y'all we're tripping.
Lars Sullivan versus Braun Strowman in a battle of behemoths is being built to in about a year.
Okay. This is okay. Now I'm gonna say this. Lars Sullivan, I don't see it. I see what they're trying to do with him. They've been trying to do it for a minute too. It doesn't work. I personally feel like it doesn't work. And with Braun Strowman's new gimmick, it does not work. If Braun Strowman still had that superhuman thing where he was pushing trucks, it would have worked.
Shit.
Yeah, that would have worked. But now he's on this weird, I don't know. He's on this weird gimmick now.
He showed up on Raw and was like, "I want an exhibition fight." Like, what?
It doesn't fit. Like, it doesn't fit the gimmick. That's what I'm saying. I'm like him and Lars Sullivan. That it doesn't work like that. They should have did it when, like I said, when he was tossing them. I guess tossing trucks, but he was pushing trucks over. And then when Lars Sullivan was still like an up and coming wrestler and was throwing niggas around like he was, like that's when they should have did it. Was then. That was like a year ago. They should have did it then.
Yeah.
And it would have worked. Now it's like weird because Braun Strowman's going through his thing. Lars Sullivan is still. They don't know what to do with that man, and it's just I don't know. It doesn't work to me. That's why I'm not excited about that at all.
I'm not excited about it either because I think they're both kind of me.
And Braun Strowman, whatever this shit is, that shit is trash. I'm sorry, that shit is trash.
So whatever.
That shit is trash. I mean, that's what's up though. You want to give him something to get the crowd excited for. They're like, yeah, he's gonna do it, and everybody there in attendance is lit because he's running around the ring knocking everybody over. But watching that shit on TV, that shit is trash.
I was say I went to a show once. It was a house show with my dad and my little brother, right before quarantine, and he did. It might have been like January, February, but he did that shit, and I ain't gonna lie, it got me hype.
But
He
that's
ran
what I'm
around,
saying.
beat the
Because you
fuck
were
out of.
there.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of Revival, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke, and Cesaro, just all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's lit though. When you there and he does this, the crowd's like, yeah, he does that. Then it's understandable. But that shit is stupid. When you're watching on TV, you're like, okay, so he's gonna shoulder block.
But that's the thing is they do it for the live crowd.
But you also got to think about the millions watching at home.
I know,
too.
but
and that shit looks
they
goofy.
take precedent. The live crowd takes precedent in their mindset.
And I definitely feel it because you want to get the crowd hype because then it gets us hype at home.
Yeah.
But that shit is stupid. But I just say that to say that shit is stupid. And I understand y'all trying to give him something special because you want to make him a top dog because Brock Lesnar's getting older and you want to make somebody else the Brock Lesnar when he's gone. You want to make somebody the big guy to toss people around. And I understand it. That's why y'all had them fucking tie for the Royal Rumble record. But which I thought was dumb as well. But yeah, so I understand what they're trying to do with him, but I just personally think that's a stupid move that he has. But yeah, he needs to do a few more things, a few more athletic things. I feel like give him an athletic move, so that way we can sit there and argue about how great he is, stuff like that.
I'm with it. So Raw Underground is dead in the water already. Like it's canceled.
You said it's dead? Like it's canceled?
Canceled. Yep.
I ain't gonna. I've not seen one. I think I saw the first two. That's it. I saw the first two.
Yeah.
Raw Underground. Then I never saw it again. I was like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It was a cool concept, but they didn't really do anything with it.
So what was that like? Was it like a Fight Club? I don't understand what it was.
It was Fight Club, yeah. It was a Fight Club.
Was it to put people over, or what was it?
I don't know.
Or was it just for people that just love wrestling so much that was like, let's give you some more wrestling? I don't understand what that was.
It wasn't wrestling.
No.
It wasn't presented as wrestling. It was more like mixed martial arts.
No, I know that, but I'm saying what was the point of it? Was it supposed to build people, or was it just?
I don't know.
Hey, we gotta fit. Like, is it a time filler? What was that? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is Peyton Royce was on there and she got beat up once. That was funny.
Chill. I mess with the Iconics.
They're not a thing anymore.
You know what I'm saying? She's bad.
No, she's not. She looks like Big Bird.
No, she's bad. I think Billy Kay smacked. Do you think
they both look like Big Bird? No, one looks like Big Bird, one looks like Snuffleupagus. You can pick which one looks like which.
I'm assuming you mean Snuffleupagus is Billy Kay.
That's fine if that's what that's. I don't care.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I personally think
I don't care which one's which. But AJ Styles has a new bodyguard, Jordan Mogbahin.
That big black man. That man was huge.
He's over 7 feet tall and 300 pounds. Only people in WWE history to be taller than him are Andre the Giant and Giant Gonzalez. He's bigger than Big Show, like taller than the Big Show, and the Great Khali. He's also larger of a human than Braun Strowman. He's gonna make Braun Strowman look small.
You know what? I'm down. If they make is he like? Have we seen him wrestle at all?
No, he just got here. He's super green apparently. The idea, I guess, is to keep him with AJ Styles for a year up until the draft of next year and have him learn with AJ Styles slowly.
Okay, I was gonna say
it's like Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
No, I was saying has he had any wrestling experience before? That's what I was saying.
He's a basketball player.
Oh, okay. That's what's up then. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down for that.
So
because I personally want to see. I really just want to see an athletic big man. Another athletic big man. That's really what I want to see. And hopefully they get him like that, so he looks scary, like how Bobby Lashley was, like how he was big but quick.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. I would love to see another one like that. Bobby Lashley ain't as quick like that anymore to me, but I think back in the day, he's old, but. ECW Bobby Lashley when he was jumping and knocking cages over and and just running through spearing people. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that kind of person.
So these are WWE's most important stars right now, according to the Bleacher Report. So honorable mentions on their list are the Hurt Business, Retribution, The New Day, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Bianca Belair, Street Profits, Big E, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Lars Sullivan. Now we'll start. You want to start with Raw or SmackDown?
Go ahead and go with
SmackDown. We're going to go from 5 to 1. There's 2 ties on this list for SmackDown. So number 5, Seth Rollins. Number 4, Sami Zayn and Otis tied. Number 3, Daniel Bryan. Number 2, Bayley and Sasha Banks tied. And then number 1, Roman Reigns. Any disagreements there?
Otis. That's my disagreement. Fuck Otis.
I feel you on that. It's weird. Next up is Raw.
Gimmick.
You said what?
Such a dumb gimmick to me.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I hyped when he won the Money in the Bank just because, like, why not? But like,
that shit was goofy.
That
whole Money in the Bank was goofy. They could have did without that. That shit was goofy.
Where they're running through the Titan Towers. That's
something 6-year-old, 7-year-old me used to do with my wrestling toys back in the day. I used to do that because I had a wrestling building, and I like did shit like that. I had the title at the top of this title going up. I did shit like that as a kid. Like, so y'all are writers, and y'all did this. Is what killed me. And I was doing this shit at 6 years old, 6, 7 years old. It's ridiculous. We gotta do better, WWE. That shit was trash. That shit was goofy. And it didn't even did it do good in numbers? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay,
it probably did decent.
That shit was goofy to me. Just have a wrestling ring at the top of the tower, and then have that shit just drop on Otis. That shit was stupid.
They also killed 2 people.
You said what?
They also killed 2 people. Remember, they threw Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black completely off the fucking.
Yeah, I was like, bro, that's the stuff. Like I said, that's the stuff we did with them toys, bro. Like we throwed up shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? He literally thought like when it happened, I was like, so is he dead now? Like, I was just sitting there like, bro, that was like a 10-story building that he threw him off. They went up elevators. They saw the boogeyman, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. And they saw Doink the Clown, and they saw
all kind of stuff on the way up there. And you just threw him off of that?
They saw Vince McMahon. Who was that? It was Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. They had to have a sit-down meeting with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was wearing a fucking polo shirt and some jeans. For what? Why was he wearing that?
That was funny. Like when they had different things they were shown along the way, but it was still like, bro, they're on top of the building. You threw that man off the building.
Yeah, Nia Jax was gonna fight. I think she was gonna fight Otis.
Who is?
Nia Jax was gonna fight Otis in that, like when they all cross paths.
That's supposed to be like the even like
yeah.
And I didn't expect it to be at the same time either. That was weird too.
Yeah, I didn't either. I did not realize that they were. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you.
I thought it was gonna be the women gonna have their mask and the guys gonna have their mask. All of a sudden, I seen Oscar just jumping off of stuff. I'm like, okay. Then you just seen Otis doing stuff. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like that was some mess. Like I said, that was something we did as kids.
I think Kenny just doesn't like cinematic stuff.
That shit's goofy. This is wrestling. I understand it's wrestling. You got to have a backstory to get into the wrestling match, so we feel some kind of way. But this is literally, hey, we're having a match, and all of a sudden we see the boogeyman just pop up and start talking shit. Like, I was like, it's goofy. You get thrown off the building.
Hey,
I don't like.
And in the words of John No Name Creator, wrestling is just real life anime.
I don't like that. I don't like that either.
All right, so for Raw. Because I'm trying to hurry through this because I want to go eat. We got The Fiend and Alexa Bliss at 5, AJ Styles at 4, Asuka at 3, Randy Orton at 2, and Drew McIntyre at 1.
Oh my gosh! Stop with the Drew McIntyre thing. Like, why did?
I'm pretty sure I asked you 2 weeks ago if he was overprotected and overhyped, and you said no.
But number 1?
Yeah, for Raw. He's their champion.
Still, you can still be number 1 and not be champion. Shoot, they were doing that. They were doing the CM Punk. It was like he was champion. They put everybody else over him. And he was better than half them people. But I don't know. I just feel like he should put Drew McIntyre like 3 and put Randy Orton at number 1. I personally feel like.
Randy Orton is huge.
Put Oscar number 2. That's what I would have did. I would have missed that around a little more.
I feel you.
And
you're not mad at the 5. You're just mad at the order.
Yep.
Got you. That's fair. But speaking of Bleacher Report, they also did what they call the perfect AEW versus WWE pay-per-view match card.
Okay.
And we're going to go through it and see. This looks like there's 14 matches.
Okay.
I've not seen any of these yet. Hikaru Shida versus Asuka.
Okay.
Let's pick a winner for each of these. I'm going Asuka.
I'm going Asuka.
The New Day versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So it's all 3 members of the New Day.
You're gonna hate my answer.
I'm not, because I'm going the same as Kenny Omega and Young Bucks should win that.
Yeah.
Brody Lee and Anna Jay versus Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. Ooh, I like that one. I like that shit.
It depends on what Bray Wyatt we get.
That's gonna be the Fiend, because that's the Bray Wyatt that is with Alexa Bliss.
Well, yeah, then they should definitely win. I was saying just in case.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
It could be that, to be honest with you, if they want to.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like that's another thing I like about the Fiend, though. I like the fact that he can switch to that. So if they want to pick an L, they can do that, and it works. So that way, if he had a belt they wanted to lose, he just come out as that, he'll lose it, and then the Fiend will come back in and fuck him up.
I'm with it. We got Matt Hardy and Private Party versus Jeff Hardy and the Street Profits.
Is Private Party the black group?
Yes. That is like Street Profits.
I'm going Private Party's cold, bro. I might have to go Private Party and Matt Hardy.
I'm going, nah, fuck that. I'm going Jeff and fucking Street Profits.
I don't know, man. Street Profits they're kind of trash. I was sorry, they kind of trash to me. I like them, but I think they're kind of trash.
Bitch, you're kind of trash to me. Fuck off.
Huh?
Don't talk to me anymore.
I'm on the Private Party side.
Kevin Owens versus Eddie Kingston in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Eddie Kingston.
Kevin Owens.
That's only because I'm kind of biased because I've seen them both in the Indies. Now I think about it, but Eddie Kingston was cold, bro.
John Moxley versus Drew McIntyre.
They
both ass.
In the run, they'll have Drew McIntyre winning it. Like if we're going by runs, but I would want John Moxley to win.
I'm rooting for Drew McIntyre. Ooh. Cody versus Triple H.
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
Honestly, I know you're going to be mad at me for saying this because Triple H is your boy.
I'm not mad. I like Cody.
No, I'm saying I'm going to say about to make you mad.
You about to be disrespectful?
It's not disrespectful.
You acting up?
Well, it probably is for you. I was going to say Cody Rhodes might carry that match.
You're fucking fried. Fuck out of here.
I know.
I can't wait. I'm going to book it tonight, and I can't wait to tell Damone you just said this dumb shit. And Mike. And everybody. Saying, you're fried.
He would carry that match. Cody Rhodes is a great wrestler.
You are fried. Anyway, I'm going Triple H. Just because I don't think they would.
I mean, Triple H will win it. I'm saying Triple H will win it, but I'm saying carry the match. It might be Cody. Cody would bleed and everything for it.
So would Triple H. Triple H would bleed.
But I feel like not. I don't know, because Cody Rhodes did it what Gold does.
I know, but he did. It's because it's a new era and they're not doing that anymore in WWE. It's not because Triple H is scared to. He didn't fucking.
No, I know that. I'm saying just wrestling. Well, I personally feel like Cody Rhodes carried the match against Ghost.
Oh, you're fried in that too. Yeah, you're lost your fucking mind. Bayley versus Britt Baker.
I don't know who Britt Baker is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
She's Britt Baker. DD.
So I guess I'm going Bayley just because I know her, but I don't really know Britt Baker.
The Dark Order versus Retribution.
Who's in the Dark Order?
Shit, I don't know.
Because I don't know who that is either.
That's Brody Lee's group.
Oh, okay, never mind. I know you're talking about them. I'm going Dark Order then.
I am too. 10-woman elimination match with WB team would include Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Big Swole, Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Rio. This isn't even a fair match. It's definitely Team WB by a lot. I mean, do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree.
Okay.
When you got to go Charlotte Flair in there, and I'm not going to disagree.
But I mean, you have Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and Bianca, and Naomi versus Big Swole, which I like. I like Big Swole. Nyla Rose, she's all right. Chris Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Rio. Like it's not a good mix of people for I don't know. The Hurt Business versus Inner Circle in a War Games match.
I'm going Inner Circle.
I'm going fucking Hurt Business. I don't think I voted against WWE this whole time.
I don't think you have either.
World Casino Royal Rumble War 3. What?
Wait, what?
It's the World Casino Royal Rumble War 3. That's the name of the match. It's a battle royal.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just sitting there looking like, what?
Yeah. So the winner would face Roman Reigns, and they're saying that in their minds, the winner would be Brian Cage. So Brian Cage versus Roman Reigns.
I'm going Brian Cage.
I'm going Roman Reigns. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, you ain't voted for WWE. You ain't voted for AEW yet.
That's not true. I voted for the Elite against New Day. Chris Jericho versus Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell for the main event. That's nasty.
In a good way or bad way?
In a bad way.
Why do you say that?
You got Roman Reigns versus fucking Brian Cage, and you're going to go with Chris Jericho versus Shane McMahon as the main event?
Got to.
No.
Shane McMahon is gonna lose, but in a great way.
I hate wrestling fans, especially ones that are like you.
I
Chris
mean,
Jericho's not that good.
Like, you said what?
Chris Jericho's not that good.
What?
Quit hyping this man up.
You don't have him as one of your goats?
I don't know where he's at in my list, but
what? That's a hot take for you.
He's top 25.
Chris Jericho is usually in people's top 5s.
They're wrong.
If not top 2.
They're wrong.
Wow, Travis.
Hold on, I'm gonna look. Keep going. You just keep talking. Explain Travis, to me why you think. What?
I'm just saying that's wild that you really think that he's not in the top 5.
He's not.
What? Why
he's 16. He's 16. I just think there's people that are better than him. You want to hear my list?
Yeah, go ahead. Name
15 him. Better than him.
Yeah,
from 1 to 15, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Triple H, Edge, Randy Savage, Steve Austin, Eddie Guerrero, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk.
You say Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Travis.
He made more money than everything that matters in wrestling. He did better than Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's the only thing he's got on him is the wrestling, which is the least important part of wrestling. Continuing. The Undertaker, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, The Rock, John Cena, AJ Styles, and Bray Wyatt. And then you got Chris Jericho, Sting, Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, Dusty Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Arn Anderson, Scott Hall, Randy Orton, Batista. That's my top 25. I only have this because I had to list 100 wrestlers that were better than Bret Hart, and I never finished. I only got the 25. I have 100 wrestlers named, but I never actually finished ordering them past 25.
I got to do my list soon. I got to do mine because your list is almost blasphemous. It's almost there. It's almost there. Because Chris Jericho is better than 90% of the people you named.
No, he's not.
Anyway. The only ones he wasn't better than that I will give you personally is you can argue Shawn Michaels. You can argue AJ Styles. You can argue You can argue The Rock and 14. You said what?
The Rock. Shut the fuck up. The Rock and Stone Cold aren't even that good.
Right? No, I feel you. You're talking about everything. You're talking about everything, right? You're not talking about just wrestling.
Yes. No, I'm talking about everything. And you're going to put them over Triple H?
He's definitely better than Macho Man. That was disrespectful. When you said that, I almost tuned you out the rest of the list. That shit was ridiculous. That shit was ridiculous. When you said Macho Man, I was like, bro, what? Macho Man ain't beating him in shit. Like, he ain't beating him in anything.
You're fried.
You think Macho Man's better on the mic than Chris Jericho?
Yes.
Oh, Trevor, go ahead and cut this. Go ahead and cut this episode. Go ahead and cut this episode. You wildin' today.
We got one more thing.
He ain't beat him in wrestling. He ain't beat him in shit.
The preview for WWE Hell in a Cell, which is this Sunday, October 25th, 2020. We got Roman, or we'll start at the bottom. We got Jeff Hardy versus Elias.
Ew.
Bayley versus Sasha Banks in the Hell in a Cell match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Fun fact, Sasha Banks has been in every single women's Hell in a Cell match. She also lost every single women's Hell in a Cell match.
Hey, she's been putting on, though. She's been doing her thing, though.
She really has.
That Becky Lynch was lit.
She's about to be Mrs. Hell in a Cell.
Hey, that's fine with me. Let her get her little thing. Like, she's going to be the Undertaker of it all.
I like it. Or I don't know about the Undertaker. She's more so the Triple H, because like Undertaker was Hell in a Cell because of like the demon in him, but like Triple H.
No. I mean, like how
sadistic son of a bitch.
Like,
yeah. I feel you, but she's gonna be the opposite. She's gonna lose every time.
She don't have to lose. She can just be putting in. She'd be like, "Hey, look, you don't want to go against me. I've been through this shit." And she let her get dubs here and there.
I'm with you. Every year she should just fight somebody new in the Hell in a Cell.
Yep, there we go.
I love it. Also, Sasha Banks has own she's exclusively been in long-term feuds.
Since she's never been in a short-term feud?
Yeah, like she's always in like long-term feud. Like the Becky Lynch feud was long-term. The Sasha Banks or the Charlotte Flair feud was long-term. The Bayley feud was long-term. Like she's long-term storytelling, which is refreshing.
It's great. It's like Batista and Undertaker, how they used to do back in the day.
Yep. Then we got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. I'm definitely thinking Randy Orton's going to win that.
Yeah.
Because I think Randy Orton wins it, and then he goes on and defends against Edge at WrestleMania. And then finally we've got the main event: Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in his corner versus Jey Uso in a Hell in a Cell I Quit match.
Jey Uso being in the main event is wild. That is so wild.
I love that it's a Hell in a Cell I Quit match, though.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not like it's like a weird match. It's like it makes sense. You're in a cell, and the only way you can leave it is if you quit.
Yeah.
So it's like you can do whatever you want. You got to think they have weapons, all kind of stuff in the cell, so it works. Just as long as you don't make it a DQ ending and a no DQ match like they did last year.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie.
And Cody Rhodes called it too.
Did he?
Yeah, he called it like a couple weeks before. He said, "I can see like if you there's literally an interview, and they're like, what do you think of this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up?" And he was like, it'd be a good one, but he's like, but they're probably gonna do something stupid like have somebody lose by DQ in a no DQ match, and then right after that shit, right after he said that shit, Bray Wyatt ends up winning by DQ. Like literally, he says it word for word, and it's wild. I'm like, Cody Rhodes is right once again.
I need you to chill out on Cody Rhodes. Like he's good, but like you got him hyped.
I wasn't a believer like that until he left WWE, and I was like, I didn't realize how good he was. So it was when he went to Ring of Honor. That's when I realized how cold he was. Because he was just a victim of the gimmick. He couldn't help that he was fucking Stardust and all this goofy shit. I thought Stardust was the dumbest shit ever, but he couldn't help that. He couldn't help he had to be in Legacy, all these weird teams and shit like that.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
He couldn't help that. He can only do what he's told to do, and he tried to do it his best.
I'm with it, but that's really you could just blame booking for that, and you know where you can't blame booking? On Book It, a wrestling podcast. So wrestling fans, have you ever wondered what it might be like if Stone Cold Steve Austin jumped ship to WCW at the height of the Monday Night Wars? What about what a heel John Cena might look like? Have you and your friends ever argued who the GOAT in professional wrestling is? Or maybe you want to know who the ultimate champion of champions is. Well, if you've ever had any of these questions, I have a show just for you. See, every single week, your commissioner, Hi-Fi Mike, is joined by a panel of GMs, which includes Hollywood Kevin, D Money, Keith the Chief, Johnny No Name, Kenny the Bad Guy, and sometimes even myself, Primetime Travie T, as we revisit and rebook your favorite wrestling storylines in a way that only we can. See, check us out live every week at twitch.tv/T13media, and the replay goes up for both video viewers and audio listeners on www.t13media.com each and every single Friday. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in. Catch us next time at the same bat time, same bat channel. In the meantime, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then check out the rest of our shows and follow us on social media, all of which can be found at www.t13media.com. We'll catch you later. Wait. Don't go anywhere. Just want to make sure you're going to check out my new podcast, Primetime with Travie T, coming with new episodes every single Sunday at www.t13media.com. See, every week I'm joined by a new guest who shares their unique perspective of the world. This isn't your everyday interview show. This is a show that could only be for prime